Hello, we're here, we did it! Congratulations to us! Hi, welcome to another episode of Manifest Actual Play. I am Tommy Cotton. With me, as always, Dan Barron, Addy Gia, Seth Lilly, Roman Milan. You may have noticed in the chat there is currently a prediction going.
Oh my god.
That's just gratuitous, right?
Oh,
like,
that's
come on.
a lot.
That sucks.
There's a prediction going in the chat right now. You can gamble your channel points on whether or not you think I am going to take someone's arm tonight. We all know I am I have a hunger for player character arms. I like detaching their limbs. And they're in the middle of a fight right now.
He likes the sound it makes.
And I've gotten close a few times this session or this campaign, but maybe tonight's the night. Yeah, they're in the middle of some fights here.
When did we get through everything? But when did we run into Leonard last time?
So you have a little under almost a little over 10 minutes to get your votes in. You can vote whether or not you think I'm going to get an arm, and then at the end of the session, we'll see who wins channel points. It looks like someone somewhere is going to win something because we have 24,000 channel points invested in yes and 1,400 invested in no. And so we'll see. But before we get into any of that, cast your votes now. You're running out of time. Dan, you just looked at how to vote on these predictions, right? It's just at the top of the chat.
Yeah. Up at the top, you click on vote, and then it opens up a little menu. It'll open up the other channel point redemption menu, and at the top of that, there should be a button where you can click to vote. And it'll give you like the standard, I think, is just 10, and there should be a thing that says vote with a custom amount, and then you can put however many you want in there.
Nice. Some more votes coming in for yes here.
What you're doing is ensuring that he will by using your channel points on the prediction and not on giving us grit.
What a wild stratagem you think I might have.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. If you vote no and he doesn't get that arm, you get so much channel points. This is we're doing this boss fight on challenge mode, basically. You spend your grit on this vote, so later you can give us a lot of grit.
That's a good way of looking at it. You should definitely spend all your grit on this vote or giving me grit. But before
he's over here, he wasn't happy controlling the economy. Now he's rigging elections. You've got to be seeing this.
Okay, so before we get into any actual play or recap or anything like that, I'm going to toss attention over to these wonderful people because they have stuff to talk to you about. And then we're going to look at some character art, and then I'm going to tell you what's going on, and then we're going to jump right into the action because we ended in the middle of initiative last time. And we've been off for a week, and I'm really eager to play. You have 9 minutes left to cast your votes.
Oh, snap.
Who would like to go?
I'll snag the attention that he's tossing over here. So I'm going to talk about this month's charity. It is the Cajun Navy Foundation. Some of you may have heard Hurricane Ida recently hit, and they are desperately in need of relief in New Orleans and Louisiana in general. Also New York and everywhere in the path of that horrible hurricane. So the Cajun Navy, they are informal ad hoc volunteer groups made up of private boat owners, originally formed in the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina. So they assist in search and rescue efforts in the United States, as well as offer disaster relief assistance. Right now, they're currently working to assist those affected by Hurricane Ida, bringing food, water, evacuating unhoused and displaced, evacuating people unhoused and displaced by the storm. They believe that today's model for disaster recovery is not making the best use of citizens whose technology, social media, and internet execute disaster relief. So they're really community led, and they would dearly appreciate any capacity you would have to help. We've got the link in the chat for that. Just click that, and you can donate to their relief fund. And I'm going to toss it over to Rohan.
Good catch. Thank you. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. You are here, presumably. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're watching it one of the other ways or listening to it? Question mark. Anyways, but for right now, you're probably right here. Around 8 o'clock Central every Tuesday, barring internet. But every Tuesday, we are here, bring it to you live. But that's a number and a day, and that's tough for anybody to remember. It was my brother's birthday the other day, and I called him the day after, and he was thankful-ish. But wouldn't it be nice if you had somebody to remind you of these things? Well, look no further. Right under me, there's a few buttons that will absolutely do that for you. There's a heart and a bell. That allows you to follow and get notifications when our Twitch goes live. Instead of remembering it, make a computer do it for you, like we do with everything these days. Use technology, why don't you? What are you, Amish? Probably not. You're watching Twitch. But go ahead and follow us and let Twitch tell you about it. And then if you're feeling very generous, I've been notified that it is September in Twitch, and a name that I have feelings about, but apparently it's September. And so go ahead. You can get discounts if you subscribe, if you give gift subscriptions. It now is the time. It's like Christmas for Twitch. It's great. So just go ahead and click that button, grab yourself a subscription, give some people subscriptions so they get notified, so they get to watch the channel and enjoy and join along with you guys on chat. And all of that support, those gifted subs, those bits, whatever you guys do, it all goes into like bettering the stream and getting guest stars and all sorts of stuff that honestly we have a lot of things right down the barrel that we're looking at to bring you guys, and everything you guys give really helps us to bring those very cool and exciting things to you that I can't talk about yet, but I will be talking about soon, and I absolutely can't wait. So thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you guys for watching. Please follow and like and do all that good stuff. And follow us on our socials as well. We've got some announcements coming around here in the next couple of weeks for some fun stuff, including some very incipient announcements over from Addie. But follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and then potentially Laura Dern's Instagram if you'd like, for all of the updates on Manifest. We really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
Is the current vote a clue about the Instagram? I don't know how you would know.
And now I will go ahead and take this, and I will toss it on up to Addie.
The Manifest Bunch. The Manifest Bunch.
Yeah, hi everybody. So I have a really cool update for you guys. So as you know, last time, which was 2 weeks ago, we announced that we were launching our Patreon. We did that. We have a bunch of new patrons, which I am like super stoked to have. If you're here, hello, I love you. We've also decided in this first month of this like relaunch of our Patreon, which is who I think is patreon.com/manifesttherepg.
Waypoint Game Designs.
Damn it. Waypoint Game Designs. That's what I get for totally being 100% prepared. But we are also for everyone who becomes a patron at the $10 level or higher, we are sending out $5, even better. Oh my gosh, the $5 level or higher, we are going to be sending out a gift. We have these amazing prints of some of Manifest's coolest animals that were created by Crystal Sully. And she was so kind and so generous to give us some prints of hers that we can give away. And so we're going to do that. So if you sign up to be a patron on our Patreon for $5 or more, because we do want to pay for shipping, you will get this wonderful gift. I feel like there should be like text scrolling, like look at all these different songs on this CD, until the end of September. So that ends on October. midnight, I guess. I don't know. The September 30th, October 1st
When the
switchover.
clock strikes 12 at the start of the
We turn
spooky
into
month.
a pumpkin and light all of the rest of the pictures on fire. So if you want a cool manifest print of some cool art, including the squonk, which is my favorite, then you should go to our Patreon.
I gotta break your heart. There's no print of the squonk.
There's not?
No, the squonk is not. We don't have a print of the squonk.
Gasp! I'm a liar
Okay,
and
wait,
really
I
sad.
You have a gal route,
Contact
though.
information. I will commission a squonk. Damn it!
Oh,
I
You don't
want
have to
we
that
commission it.
have-
We
we
have it.
have
We just don't have a
art
print
of
of
the
it.
squonk. Yeah.
a print.
There's
I'm
the
just,
gal
like,
route. There's Copybird.
batting-
There's a ton of cool ones.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
bad.
I should have grabbed
The
one of the
hide behind
habits.
is very cool and spooky. But for more information, that's going up on our blog tomorrow, right? That's when that's
Yeah,
happening?
it'll be on our Patreon. It'll be on all our socials. We'll be having announcements about it.
Yeah. And then that's the big announcement. We're still going to Origins. We're still really excited. We are going to run two events where Tommy's going to be running Manifest for those of you who are able to snatch those spots, and then we'll be also we'll have a booth and we'll all be there and we'll all be totally not exhausted and from driving very far, and we'll have very cool things for you. And I think that's it. I have no merch updates because things are moving. And yeah, that's all. I've done a terrible job. Thank you for listening to me, and this is my time of need. Does anybody else have an announcement? Or is
Well,
Tommy
you
gonna
only
lie to
have
you
about a
Big
minute
Coffee?
left to cast your votes now.
Oh.
So
Cast your votes.
you gotta cast your votes, and then the votes will be locked in, and we'll move into the actual play, and we'll see if I
Okay, I'm
take
just
someone's
throwing it
arm.
up in the air wherever it lands is fine.
All right. So yeah, you have about a minute now to cast your votes. Gambling your channel points. Gamblers, get your gambles out. Time to see whether or not you think I'm going to take an arm. It looks like there's a lot of votes for yes. There's a few 7,000 for no. So right now, if the answer ends up being no, the people who voted no are going to get a really good payout. Since oh no, but people are still voting yes because they know what's going to happen. They'll get. You don't get a payout if you're wrong. All right. So what's up? What's up?
Never mind. I was just, in case anyone is wondering, no, you can't play both sides of this.
I also tried to play both sides.
All right. So with the vote out of the way, I'm going to talk really quick about the other things you can do with your channel points. For anyone who is not aware, we have Grit up here in the corner of our screen. Grit is an expendable resource that we have in game to manipulate our rolls. It's a very cool aspect of Manifest, and basically, you as viewers can interact with the stream directly by spending your channel points to give Grit to either myself or the players. If you give it to me, I will make things harder for them, and if you give it to them, they have a better chance of not losing their arms. So if you still have some channel points that are not being held by the bank right now, you could spend them in that way throughout the session. We've taken up enough of your time at the beginning. I want to get into the actual play. I want to jump into this. So we are going to... oh, wait. I thought of one more thing. Because you guys are talking about the Patreon. If y'all wanted just a little bit more, you can see there in the chat. It's patreon.com/waypointgamedesigns. If you haven't clicked on that link yet, you should. Because little secret for anyone who's watching and wants to click on that. There is... a decent amount of unreleased art in the banner of the Patreon. You want to see some art for some of the drifter paths that we haven't put on Kickstarter yet? It's in the banner on Patreon. So you should click on that and check out that banner, soak in that sweet art, and then become a patron so you can see more cool art. All right.
Yeah.
So now we are going to transport our minds to the world of Manifest and look at some sweet, cool art from Kate May. who created all the character art for this Twitch stream, and we love her to death. Let's go check it out. All right. All right. So, previously on Manifest Actual Play, our 4 drifters are in the Punched Peaks right now. They have taken the fight to Blackstar Mercenary Company alongside the leader of the Free People's Coalition, known as the Raven, aka Leo Riggs. The 4 of them plus Leo were in the mountains overlooking Blackstar's camp, trying to come up with the best plan to approach and fight Blackstar. And Blackstar kind of wheeled out their secret weapon, which was another experimental, or another very experimented on, highly illuminated individual who seemed subservient to them, courtesy of course, Brimstone Garrison. And before that person could use their illuminated powers, upon being given the name Porter Janus, Dexter, our gunslinger in residence, Dexter Bailey, pulled the trigger with a sniper rifle from a fucking long way away, and took that dude out. That really pissed off the leader of Blackstar, one Henry Fawcett, who mobilized his troops and have rushed into the mountains to try and find these drifters. So now they are in a fight for their lives, stranded in the mountains, ducking and avoiding patrols from this mercenary company, as they attempt to defeat them in small skirmishes one at a time. There is another angle to be had in all of this, which is Henry Fawcett is in possession of a functional bit of proto-martyr technology that someone in the Sheffield family crime syndicate wants. And if Porter is able to obtain that intact and functional, and have it brought to Markham's Landing, then his debt with the family can be cleared and he can finally return home to his parents and his lovely sibling who he has been away from for some time. So that's where we left off. Gus split from the group to go fight some mercenaries by himself, while Dex and Leo did a pincer attack with Eloise and Porter on a larger group of soldiers. We are in the middle of that fight right now. Gus pretty far away, finished off his 3 people last session and is now using his illuminated strength and speed to try and zoom through the mountain at an inhuman rate to try and make it to the fight that is ongoing still, which is the fight between Dex, Leo, Eloise, Porter, and how many remaining soldiers? Let me look. You guys took out a couple.
I think it's 4 or 5.
Take a look, see here. It looks like it's 4. Yeah. Yeah, you guys took out 2, there were 6. Cool. So that is where we left off. The very, very last thing that happened was after a quick exchange of gunfire, most of which was pointed at Porter. Dex shot the person who seemed to be potentially in charge of, or at least the highest ranking mercenary here, shot him dead, and then stood up in the open without cover and told the mercenaries that he could do this all day, activating his talent from the subtlety tree that makes it so he can dodge without additional penalties against multiple attacks. And that was the end of Dex's turn, I believe, after he had doubled down. And before I kick on the initiative music and we go into it, Porter, you get +1 grit, putting you up to 7. That's from Fiddler Undone.
Thanks, Fiddler.
And Dex, you get +1 grit,
Oh yeah.
also from Fiddler Undone, which puts you up to 3.
Thank you. I don't think it's going to come up that I need it, but if it does, I promise I'll use it. It's very kind of you. I don't think there's any reason to think that I would need it.
And Argate Lam in the chat would like to make sure that I acknowledge the fact that Gus became a little bit of a horror movie monster as he revealed a decent amount of anger at how bad these people are and how they maybe sort of kind of deserve to die. And that's the thing that Gus has not really ever really been on the side of the line of. But with that, we're going to jump right into it. It is Leo's turn in initiative. So, Dex, you step out, say, I can do this all day, and Leo holds his turn.
Okay.
And the gunfire rains out at you, Dex, probably entirely. Yeah, it's all coming to you, Dex.
Yeah, I don't think I'm in a position where even with like full auto weapons, they can fire at me and somebody else.
No. That would be, yeah, they wouldn't be able to. They have to pick their targets, and they all pick you. Basically, big shot rings out as you pull out Alistair Caldwell's pistol and fire it, and just rip through the head merc, and all of them turn. You stand there confidently, and without thinking, they all start to like pull into a position where they get better cover from Porter and Eloise as they fire at you.
Okay. And I assume I have no cover, but I believe, like up on a ridge above them. Does that impair them in any way?
No, not
Okay, cool. Totally fine.
Yeah, not with the terrain you're on. So yeah, you're gonna get fired on. A couple of them are gonna unload with their pistols at you.
I got a 14.
So okay, well, that beats my 12. Next attack.
I have a 13.
That beats my 11. And then yeah, and then the guys with the heavier weapons are going to fire on you as well.
I have a 12 right now.
Okay, I only got a 7 on that one, so you
Cool.
Gucci. All right, and then final attack from Merc number 4. Okay.
I have a 13.
Okay. I will spend grit so I can also have a 13.
Seems rude, but all right.
So I play to the gallery. You are up to 4 grit. That 13 explodes. Let's see if I get another 13. I do not. Oop, but I have enough reliability that I can re-roll that 17. Doesn't matter. Okay, cool. So that is 6 damage with 4 armor piercing.
I will take an injury instead.
Okay. Go ahead and roll on the injury chart.
I am off balance.
Okay. That gives you
So -1 to my next test.
Okay.
Can't imagine why I'd be off balance in this scenario.
Yeah. So gunfire rains down on Dex, just, pistols just boom boom as they move into position. The bigger guns kick out, just and Dex, with like speed and training that you haven't really seen him be able to bring to task before, pulls back, anticipates where their gunshots are going to be, like anticipates the recoil, manages to like pull back, and like one shot just goes barely over his head, not because he ducked or anything, but because he changed the angle by stepping back. And then he like slides up a little bit, like kicking up like dirt, which makes like a slight smoke screen, so that when the other guy gets in position to shoot at him, he doesn't have like a clean shot, as like dust is like in the air. And so the guy like fires wildly, and then he dives like that way. And as he finally like gets up and around, one of the bullets does like whiz and like just like clip his thigh, like, and like doesn't like seem to like get through any of the armor he has
I think
there.
it like skims off the armor, and just the
Yeah.
impact sort of like pushes me.
Yeah, basically the armor soaks it, and you get that like kind of like bruised feeling, and you were mobile at the moment, trying to be really nimble, so like your leg kind of gives out, and like you're now like up on this like elevated position, like, and you like don't quite land with the like same footing that you were supposed to, because you just got a little dinged. And now Leo will shoot. And Leo is going to step out with his shield and his like repeater like kind of dart gun, and he is actually going he like, as he steps up, like he's holding his turn because he's like opened up the like his jacket and like switching out, like he like puts, there's like something in there that he like shoves the barrel of the dart gun into. It removes that barrel, and he shoves the like a new barrel on top of his dart gun and pulls it out, and then it's like and it shoots these different bolts that jam into 3 of the remaining flare guns, and like shatters them.
Holy crap.
And like one of them does shatter with like a burst of like sparks and flame, as it kind of like lights a little bit, but like just like kind of like goes into the dirt at the person's floor and then like sputters out.
Good.
And that is Leo's turn. Gus, you are able to see what's going on because you guys are connected by the telepathic link. You know what's going on. You know Porter's a little pinned down. You know Dex has just been fired at. You are very far away. Even like Dex and Leo, with like, they were sneaking before, so like they weren't moving at like ultimate top speed. But even if they were trying to move at like a pretty brisk pace with their skills of like mountaineering, they still would probably take somewhere around the frame of 15 to 20 minutes to traverse the amount of distance that you have to traverse.
Yeah. All right. Well, what if I what if I put super jump on myself?
I mean, a lot of the difficulty of traversing is the verticality of the land, so that would help. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll somatics. Activating your super jump power.
Oh, there's no benefit to rolling more than 4 successes, right?
Correct. Yeah.
All right. Well, then I don't need to play to the gallery. Although that would be fun. That could be like 6 successes. But no, I'll just stick with my 4.
Yeah. Are
yeah,
you
so it
also
looks like-
hulked right now?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, cool. So with 4 successes on super jump, not only do you get to ignore modifiers for like jumping excessive distances, but you also can you are assumed to be able to jump about 4 times as far as a normal person without even having to roll a test. So that is the scale on which you are working on right now. And you get a +4 to any like test that you would have to take in order to like see how far you could leap. So with all of that said, I would like you to roll an athletics test. You can combine the bonuses of your Hulk as well as the bonuses of the super jump, which I have to assume means you're rolling for 17s.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
I think the super jump alone gets you there.
Yeah, either one. I rolled 2 17s. But the rest were also successes.
Oh no.
That's 7 successes on that roll.
Stop.
Oh my god.
He's just there, right? Like,
Hey,
I
y'all.
mean,
how are you?
he can easily jump 30 feet straight up standing without even rolling a test. So, how many successes?
All these dice. 7 of them.
Yeah. Gus, you knock out those guys. You have like an anger in you that you haven't really felt before. You see like as you move, you know, your muscles are kind of glowing with that red hot like yellow gold heat as it like the illuminated power pulses through as you were hulked out. You then channel that into like your core and leg muscles, and you start like you turn, and when you like leap forward to gain momentum, you do leave a divot in the ground, like a spider web crack in the ground as you zoom forward, and like you full on like leap like easily like a like almost a football field's length, just like straight up and forward, like flying up in the air, and then you land on like an elevated position, and when you do, like the ground breaks, and like a stalagmite over to your right like cracks and tumbles off of the like the cliff edge you're on, and then you like hunker down, and you can hear this like energy coming out from like your body as like you just hunkering down. It's like your mask gets like heavier or something because the ground around you starts like vibrating and breaking a little bit, and then you full on like Superman leap like off the ground
Over a tall mountain in a single bound.
I don't have Hulk. I am Hulk.
that outcropping of rock like that like had kind of formed into almost like a little butt like breaks and splits and becomes like jagged as you create a small landslide leaping off of it, and you fly through the air You know exactly where your friends are because you have the telepathic link to them. You know where they were going. You see it in the air as you're flying, and you full on like catch the air and steer yourself over and then like spin around. And as all of you are fighting, like Dex dodges these shots and Leo Riggs like is firing a couple things. And I don't know. I think Dex is busy. I think Leo's busy. Maybe Eloise, maybe Porter hears the sound of something approaching in the air.
I actually have detect life on, so I do.
Oh yeah, no, he was out of your. Gus was out of your field of sensory like input for definitely, and he has suddenly returned and he is approaching at rapid speeds, Eloise. And you look up and purely because of the amount of distance you have to travel, you cannot do it in one turn. But but at the beginning of your next turn, you can basically you'll lose a quick action to land.
Okay. Let me know if this is too many cool things to happen, but can I double down?
You absolutely can. That is the beginning of your next turn. You use a quick action.
Cool.
Gus
right.
spends 4 grit, so he's down to 5, and I'm up to 7. And so, Eloise, you sense Gus rapidly approaching. You look up. Porter, you see Eloise look up. You look up, and you can't see what she's looking at first. And then you see, like, something in the air that is quickly approaching, and you think maybe it's a plane, maybe it's a copper bird, but no, it is Gus Gurley. Instead of like easing your fall, Gus, you're like, I gotta get there, and you full on like cup your body, like your legs and arms together to make yourself a fucking bullet in the sky, and you full on like full velocity fly in, and then based purely on the amount of like luminescent energy within, you like kind of do a somersault in the air, and it's wild because everyone in the area gets a shockwave before you hit the ground, because you just kind of flipping and kicking out your legs sends enough like kinetic energy into like out from you that it like reverberates off the ground, creates a shockwave, slows down your descent so you can land down on one knee, cracking and breaking the earth around you, rumbling the mountains as you full on kick up massive amounts of dirt, and everyone's pulled back. There's this big wave. Dex, you do get knocked on your ass. Eloise and Porter, you get knocked down. Leo almost falls off of his like perch, and only is able to hold on because he grabs onto the dead body of the guy up there to like hold himself up, and like that person's body like slides a little bit, and he uses that moment to like kind of like get a better hold. And everyone just gets like floored as Gus Gurley, like a fucking meteor, just lands in the middle of this fight.
Yo, we gotta move. I think they heard that.
You used one quick action to secure your landing. You still have one quick action and however many free actions remaining. So what do you do, Gus? Jesus fuck.
I land and I hop up into a very aggressive offensive stance. And I just turn and swing full force into one of these guys.
Okay. I'll just roll at random. Unless you want to do specifically one who's like closest to one of your friends.
Yeah, if there was one that I saw just shooting at Dex.
That's all of them, so.
Oh, well then, yeah, any of them works.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah, you just land, and there's like one guy who's like starting to get up, and he's like the first one getting up, and you're like, nope. Yeah. Okay, roll your attack. I am going to give him a -2.
Yeah.
On account of you getting 7 successes. Okay, he has actually an 11.
Oof, I got a 12.
Oh wait, no, this guy has an 11. Yeah, this guy has an 11.
Cool. I got a 12, but that's all I got.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all I got, but that's fine.
I do believe you get to choose which stance you're in.
He did. He said
Yeah.
offensive.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. I'm on an offensive stance. So it is.
Wonderful.
It's 7 damage, 6 piercing. Actually, I'll twist that knife so that no matter his toughness, that piercing probably goes through.
You're twisting knife to get 2 successes then?
Yeah.
So how much damage is that then?
So that's 14, but 6 of it's piercing.
Okay. Yeah. This guy gets up and you just like rush at him and like shoulder check him against like the rock wall and then just like like several like quick body shots right into like his ribs, like you hear one of them crack.
Nice. And then I know I used a quick action. I think Fist of Fury lets me have one more attack.
Yep, it sure does. You get 1 free action unarmed attack with Fist of Fury.
Yeah, I'll attack someone else.
Okay.
This
And so
guy.
that dude slumps up against the wall, like kind of like is reaching to grab onto something. His friend comes up and grabs your shoulder, and you just turn around and throw a haymaker his way.
Yeah, just lay into this guy.
Oh my god, he got 11s as well for him.
Oh, that's it's not super gonna help him, but that's nice for him. I got a 12, a 13, and a 17.
But he got 2 11s, Roman.
Oh, he got 2 11s. Then he double cancels out my 4 and my 8 and my 1. But
Good for him. How much damage
Yeah.
is that?
that's gonna be a 21 damage, 6 piercing.
Six. 21 after is this 21 is exactly enough to just knock that dude out in one single swing.
Nice.
So Gus is still kind of in rage mode right now, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, because these guys were just shooting at his friends who were just trying to get away and just trying to survive. Yeah.
So
these guys, he can't see.
Body shot. This guy grabs you to try and yank you off his friend, and you like pull up in a way that like lifts him up off his feet, and then you like kind of like throw a full on like punch right into his chest plate. And like you have like those those Hodag
Hodag punchers, yeah.
on your like knuckles, and they dig deep into his armor, which like splits, and you pull back your fist, and blood comes with it as this dude falls down and is not moving.
Yeah. It looks something like he just turns around, like uppercut, and then like full as he pulls, and the blood like sort of like spurts back from like the last couple beats of this guy's heart. He just sort of pulls back. Who else needs some?
Okay. It is Porter and Eloise's turn next. Because Gus goes after the mercs, which means they don't get a chance to do anything to deal with their newfound situation.
The rest of them, are they just like getting up? Are they getting ready to attack
Yeah,
or
basically
something?
during that time, like they didn't get knocked prone in a true mechanical sense. I gave one of them a -2 just because of the sheer like surprise of Gus's arrival, but yeah, they're all like out on their feet now, like they're all getting up. They're effectively like back in the fight.
Altogether, it's 3 more or 4 more.
There are only 2. Well, no, there's 3 remaining. 1 that is hurt, and then 2
remaining.
that have yet to be touched.
Good. I think Porter's gonna kind of use Gus as like an intimidation method, and I think he's gonna say, "No, you don't want." When he's like this, there's no stopping him. He'll kill you. Put your weapons down.
Yeah, this is a manipulate test. You found a way to intimidate without having to roll intimidate, and that's having someone so scary that you're trying to convince them that they got it for their own good. Get the fuck out of here.
Porter's good. He's good copping.
Yeah, Gus is bad cop. Porter is good cop. Porter gets to roll manipulate.
Classic. Works every time. Just to make sure, I believe I am still in some negative effects from the Tanakh I took, which means I do have -1 to personality and then thin blood, which I don't know narratively what that does.
It means you get additional negative. Well, it means you take negatives at every 2 hit point damage.
That's right. I remember now. So that is another -1 to, or is that a -1 to the skill then, or to the?
That's only if you've been hurt.
Attribute. I have. Yeah, I've got exactly 2. So
that's a -1.
it should be -1 to the skill, right?
Yep.
Excellent. That's fine. I'm still rolling 4 dice at a 12.
Hey, guess what? It's your first impression.
Hey! I didn't even say it this time. It is my first impression.
These folks don't know you. They've heard of you.
I'm right. Using a friend, so I'll use 1 friend die. Excellent. Ah, good. It's 4 dice, so that 20 does nothing. Come here. Oof. Do I spend the great to play to the gallery up or down? Because I can do both. I guess it should be.
I mean, up
It
is
doesn't
better.
matter.
Do it up.
I'll go up that way. That'll help my chances, right? All right. So that's 2 right there. That's fine. That's still 3 successes with a high of 13.
Should roll, I guess.
Sorry. A high of 14. 14. Yeah, and you should roll. That'd be helpful.
Generally speaking, now is when you would roll dice, Tommy.
I was setting up. I
really.
was setting up additional notes. I have a 10.
Oh, good. So that's 2 hits.
Okay. Dex, you can tell that these guys are getting ready to retreat at this point. A meteor of a man just landed and like decimated their friends. The one guy who got like felt a little bit of Gus's punches. That dude didn't even need a roll. He wanted to get out of here that moment. And then the other 2, you can, if you want more information, you can roll. But like the other 2, like, do you look like they're gonna?
They're getting ready to retreat, not surrender.
Yeah, they want to leave. They're all getting ready to leave.
You could like I imagine this is a roll, but when you say leave, you mean this current situation and not this life behind.
Yeah, that would be a roll for you to try and get a better read on it. All I'm saying is, you know that these guys are done fighting.
Okay.
Sell me deaths.
+1 to grit to Gus from Ryak, a meteor of a man.
Hey.
That's fun. I love that.
That is fun.
Eloise, you're up.
There isn't a way to drop in initiative like until it would be my turn like next time. Does that make sense?
Unfortunately, no. You are the end of initiative, so you can't hold your turn.
Okay.
You could just do nothing with your turn if you want, but then you're out of initiative.
Yeah, I know. I actually think I will take a full action to get as good cover as possible.
Okay. And I was wrong. You actually do have 1 initiative left.
I have an initiative pass left after this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Assuming you
I
don't.
thought I only had 1.
Now, you were at 3 initiative just now, and so this will take out 2, and you'll have 1. Which,
Okay.
like, you might use that 1 to try and block for somebody, but...
Yeah. Okay, well, I guess maybe... Can I... I don't have any weapons. Okay. I would. Yeah, I think I just I think Gus is scared. So I think I just take cover.
Yeah, you can now have excellent cover from all angles.
Okay.
Oh, that sucks to hear. I'm glad Gus didn't hear that.
And now Dex, it is your turn.
Yeah, I guess I want to know. I want to know more. I would like to know more.
Would you like to know more? They're not really trying to hide their emotions, so I'll give you a +2 on this.
Okay.
I
I didn't need it.
Too bad.
Necessarily. I didn't.
Well,
need
it is
or
opposed.
necessarily- I didn't need or necessarily want it based on what I had was in the process of rolling, as you said it.
Too bad. You're up against a 4 and you have a +2. Deal with it.
Alright. Fine. It's 4 net hits and this 14 doesn't explode.
So yeah, these guys, they are loyal to Blackstar. That one guy who got a little punched by Gus might, like, he's in a, you read that, like, look, he's in like a military outfit right now, like he can't just fucking walk away, like people get fucking shot for that. But like, you think if that dude is like gets resent out into the field after like being treated, like if like you guys are still hiding here and that guy gets like sent to go find you and you see him and he sees you, like he will like just not shoot. Like that guy is now in the mode of like, I gotta get off this assignment so I can put in my 2 weeks. The other two are like, this is obviously the worst, like not like this, the tactical advantage here is so heavily against us that we gotta bail. We gotta bail and we gotta tell everyone what we saw and what we know, and we need to rethink our strategy up in this place. Like those guys,
So
they're
they're-
terrified, but they are still at war with you.
They're ready to retreat and regroup, not turn down this fight.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, retreat is not surrender. I shoot them.
Okay.
This is where Gus is coming from.
God.
We can have a long conversation about the difference.
Yeah, so what the rest of you see basically is that all happens. Porter shouts out this thing. The one guy who's like hurt is like coughing up a little bit of blood and like scrambling to try to get somewhere away from Gus. And then the other two like look at each other and start like backing up and like they start to take their hands off the triggers, and like it looks like they're about to like sling their guns down and like make a run for it. And then Dex steps up, the dust settling around him as he cocks back both hammers and levels his guns.
Yeah, I will shoot at one of the guys who hasn't been hit.
Okay, that's yeah. Okay, yeah. There's 2 of them, so cool. Doop. My God, he got a 13.
Oh, well, he doesn't quite save himself. He saves himself from a lot.
Sometimes that's all you can hope for against a gunslinger.
Yeah, it's just the 113 sneaks through for 8 damage, no armor piercing. It's a third of my favorite number in Manifest.
Yeah, that's shot 1. Go ahead for shot 2.
Oh, this is a sort of occultly unsettling and very bad roll.
Well, he did get a 12. I got a 14 and was like, oh man, I can't play to the gallery because I'm at a -1 because I got shot at. So let me re-roll that 14, and it landed on a 12. And I was like, hey, guess what? That's my number now.
So I've got a 3 and a 7, and then 3 6s.
Yeah,
Like I
second.
said, occultly unsettling and very bad roll. Yeah, so I think as I shoot, like I hit on the first, I miss on the second, and then I will just like call out trying to like cut over the din of battle. The man said surrender, not retreat.
Cool. Yeah. You clip that dude as he like pulls back, looks at you. You clip him, and then you fire the other shot. Like he manages to duck underneath it. Leo, following your lead there, Dex, will fire on that guy. Let's see how Leo does. Cool. So Leo goes and shoots like just fully at that one guy. And the arrows like stick in, seeming to like pierce through the armor like more than normal. And then as that guy like kind of steps back, Leo like steps down and like spins around, like kind of pulling his body tight to like get extra momentum and like centrifugal force as he swings his arm holding the shield out. And the shield flies out, spinning brilliantly at this guy, hits him across the jaw, cracking his jaw, gashing across his cheek. And then the like very thin, almost imperceptible like recall cable kicks in and starts zipping as Leo uncoils his body and pulls his arm up, and the frisbee of a shield like arcs up into the air and back onto Leo's thing. That dude is hurt, but still alive. As they run, it is their turn. They run. They run. They run. They run. They run. All of them full on. One of them, as they're running.
I have something to say about one of them.
So the cowardice. If you're talking about punished cowardice, there is one.
Yeah.
It is the guy who you body like slammed into the wall a few times. The other two are not within arm's reach of you. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Gus doesn't have the info on that guy. Like Gus has no idea that dude isn't a combatant. So it's up to you whether or not Gus, goes to like fucking clothesline that dude and finish him.
Yep, I think he does.
He has a 9.
Oh, that's a poor baby. Oh, that's a sad baby. That's 5. That's 5 of them.
Oh no.
That's 5. That's 5 of them. I only got 4 accuracy.
You can tell me what the damage is if you want, but I can't.
We figured this out last time, Roman. You have 5 accuracy with how good you rolled on Hulk.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. No. Your skill is high enough. You have 5 accuracy.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yep. So that's, I mean, if you were to be technical about it, it is 35 damage with 6 Pearson.
Ow. Ouchie.
That does a lot to a man. Do I King Shark this guy? I don't want to King Shark.
You don't King Shark him. What you do is maybe your training would be that you were trying to like get him in a clinch or a headlock or something like that. But given your elevated state, that does turn into you full on like breaking this dude's neck, and he falls down. And if anyone were to look at his body, it would be a little grotesque. The way in which his head is oriented on his shoulders. As he goes to run and you like kind of like clothesline him into what should be a headlock, but then you feel the snap and the twist, and so you just like let it go because you realize like that's done. And he slumps down at your feet. The other two full on are booking it. They run. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and give all of you 2 grit as they lay down. They like basically they toss down smoke grenades as they toss them ahead of themselves and run into the smoke, and then like lose you guys in the like pathways of the mountains. Now, prolonged tracking, definitely a thing you can do, but like immediate like we are in initiative fighting these guys anymore, like that's done. And then you also all get another grit for surviving a life and death situation.
Yeah. We've taken out, how many did we get? We got 5 total? No.
6.
6?
No.
7. We got 7 of them.
7. I may have messed up my math. So I'm going to check everyone's grit here in a second. You all got 3 basically from that. I will say the other thing you notice, Dex, is that the one flare gun that Leo didn't manage to disable was on the person whose head just got twisted by Gus.
Helpful.
So I have everyone at 7 grit for Dex.
Yep.
12 for Eloise, 10 for Porter, and 9 for Gus.
Okay. No, did you not? You might have not counted my twisted knife.
I did not. Absolutely. Thank you very much.
And you didn't count my play to the gallery either. So I'm at 8.
Okay. Thank you. So with that, we're gonna drop out of initiative for the time being. We're gonna move into what I like to call suspense scene. The dust has settled. There are dead mercenaries around all of you. A couple of them got away. You know that they're going to report back. You know that you're kind of close to your camp that might be compromised. You definitely, like, Gus is not exaggerating. Like, they heard that. Like, they don't have a flare to be like, oh, it's protocol, go to the flare or anything like that. But everyone just heard basically the mountain shake as Gus landed on it. For all you know, maybe an eagle-eyed pilot saw something streaking through the air in the distance. Leo immediately starts like grabbing ammunition and a couple supplies. He doesn't spend very long on any particular body. He just grabs a couple things to like throw into his sack as he is getting ready to move on.
Yeah, I'll like slide down the cliff and grab the flare gun that's still here.
Okay. Now you and Leo both have a flip.
Cool.
I think Gus is over there like pacing, sort of like champing at the bit a little bit that these guys got away.
Porter runs to I think the one that Gus just clotheslined, because you know it's Gus. There's a possibility he's still breathing. If it were Dex, I wouldn't be checking. But coming upon what is clearly a nearly beheaded man, I think he like kind of pauses in shock.
You look over to Gus, you see as he's walking, every step like just like red fiery energy moves up his muscles and then dissipates.
We gotta wait, Porter. Fuck.
It's okay. It's okay. And he kind of takes off his jacket just for a moment and covers up the face of the man. And then doesn't get too close, but he's like, it's all right. Take some breaths. We'll be okay. We'll survive it. It's fine.
It's just more of them to come. It's just more of them to come for me and us and you.
I know.
And everybody.
I know. I understand. I don't know if I can do this on the fly, but I'd like to do like just like a kind of calming agent or like a brew of tea or just something that can I don't know how much actual effect it would have, but narratively just like something to be like breathe, calm down. Like a Vicks Vapo rub, you know?
You wanna sedate Gus a little bit.
Just for him to be calm. I suppose so, yeah.
Okay. You could use a first aid to try and like do something along those lines. Basically, what you're trying to do is get some successes and not misfire, because otherwise it swings off of the delicate balance you're trying to hit.
Mm-hmm. Great. Thanks for phrasing it like that. Sure. I'll roll first aid real quick. And I'm using my medkit for this.
Is there anybody on like the outer sides of this fight that like I can like go to, like not in the center of everything, or did everybody kind of just die in the same place?
The officer kind of guy, like the guy who kind of seemed in charge, who Dex shot before he like revealed himself. That guy is kind of out because he stepped around to come at you and Porter.
Okay. I'd like to go through his things for cubes, and
Yeah.
if he has a radio.
He's got completely busted armor. He does have a radio. All of them have radios. And you see he has like a double barrel like firearm, and then also he has a hard caliber pistol. You remark the fact that his hard caliber pistol lacks the certain mystique and elegance of a gunslinger's hard caliber. This is a very utilitarian, like, this gun shoots very good. Like, whereas like Dex has perhaps like a Raging Bull or like a you know, Peacemaker like 45 from the 1800s, like souped up with technology. This is like a Desert Eagle. Like this is
Can
just
I-
a big mean gun.
Sure. Can I I'd like to collect the radio, and then can I salvage the shotgun?
You can collect it, yeah. If you want to salvage it, you could. It might take a little more time than you would want.
Oh, okay. Then I guess
It's
I'll
a
just
class
take
3
it.
item, so it just will take a little bit of
Yeah,
time.
sure. I'll just take it then,
Okay.
and then also. I will take-
Also other things he has. He has 3 spurs on him, 2 machinery cubes, and 1 first aid cube. Oh, and tonic.
Okay, 3
3 spurs. 2 machinery cubes,
2
1 first aid
machinery.
cube,
and a tonic.
and a tonic.
Okay.
For the sake of all of our sanity, it is a healing tonic that heals 6 hit points and only has 1 side effect. Because it is excellent
Okay.
quality.
I like to think Blackstar labels their tonics because if I was a mercenary company, I would label my tonics.
Mm.
You
Mhm.
do find that he also has an auto injector, which is empty, built
Hmm.
into his armor. His shattered, broken, destroyed armor. Part of it includes an auto injector that has, it looks like whatever was in it did get injected.
Is it light armor?
No, it is medium armor, but it's also complete scrap and destroyed.
Yeah, I don't have any use for that. Okay. And a radio. Wonderful.
Porter, what'd you get on your first aid test?
Okay.
That was 4 successes.
Okay. Yeah, you full on, like, the level of sedation, like, if it's just, it sounds like you're just trying to calm him down a little bit. You're not actually trying to sedate him. So like, it is exactly what you want. Basically, you have a setting in your med kit. You walk over, you're like, here, like, sniff this. Like, it basically produces a vial that it like 3D prints, and you like break it under Gus's nose, and like, Gus, you kind of breathe it in, and like your heart rate settles a little bit. That like urgency is still there, but it is less oppressive. The fear is still there, but it is less controlling, and the frustration with these people hasn't gone away, but it is something that now you can think around instead of think from.
That's a great way to put it.
It's okay. I know. They got away. I get it. We are still in a good position. But we need you, okay?
Yeah, Porter, it's just we're still on this mountain, still with these dang guys, and the ones that run away. You know, you try to get them to surrender. I just came in like a freaking like I don't even know what, like a diving copperbird out of the sky, and they still ran. Like these
Like
guys,
a human bullet, at least.
yeah, and these guys, they don't stop coming. They just keep coming, right? They don't know when they're licked.
they're trained to not know when they're licked. Because if they don't know when to stop fighting.
It's messed up. God, that's so messed up, Porter.
I know. That's what we're up against, though. Blackstar is evil.
Yeah. Yeah, they're evil.
They're the symptom of something evil,
Yeah.
and we're the cure for it. We're here to help
Yeah.
their sickness. We're here to scrub the algae from the land.
Yeah. Yeah. We're here to balance. They're off balance. And we're here to bring balance, live balance, and be balanced. I don't know how balanced. We're here to balance. I got to balance. You got to balance. We're going to balance.
That's right.
We're going to make things balanced. Oh, we're going to make things centered.
Good.
Oh,
Yeah, find that.
order. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, you okay?
I'm just a scratch, I say, and like pointing to. I don't think I have any broken bones, but probably like a nasty bruise or something. So I can take care of that. That's not a
Yeah,
problem.
you better have yourself look at that.
I do make house calls. Yes.
Good.
Um.
Hey, thanks for whatever that. I don't know what that was, but thanks. Thanks, Porter. I needed. It's been a tough few days.
Folks, we gotta
I
move,
know.
says
I
Leo.
salvage
I know.
everything that I can with a priority on machinery cubes that I find. And then, but I'm ready to go whenever.
Okay. Cursory, quick, no roll or time spent loot of this yields collectively, like anyone can contribute like to it, but what you get is an additional 3 machinery cubes on top of what I already said, Eloise.
Okay.
An additional 4 spurs on top of what I already said. There is ammo if people feel like they want to grab some ammo. Speaking of which, Dex, I would like you to roll an ammo test. Porter, did you shoot?
I
You shot once.
believe I did. Yeah. It
Give me
was
that roll. Maybe that was the
regular
last one as you go to reload.
No. Yeah, I think it was just regular ammo. It wasn't injection or anything like
No,
that.
it wasn't injection.
And it's just one die, correct?
Yep, 1 die, target at 12, unless it has efficient release or whatever the mod
It's-
is.
Yeah.
Or if it's excellent
the
quality
projectile
ammo. If it's excellent quality ammo, that also makes it. Yeah, excellent quality makes it 14.
Mine
not
has
my last
supply
bullet.
16. Why is that?
Do you have-
Oh, it has something to do with. I think there's something that has to do with my.
yeah, if you're
Yeah, I've
thinking,
got +2 with supply. I've got efficient. Yeah, I do.
Yep.
Good.
That's smart. You're shooting like 6 spurs a bundle of ammo every
Yeah.
time you pull the trigger. You want to make sure you keep those.
yeah,
Yep.
correct and yes. Cool. So like if you want to loot any ammo, let me know if that's the thing you want to leave behind. That's fine too. I don't know how much you guys want to fill up your inventory with stuff like that.
I own plenty of bullets. It may surprise you to learn.
Yeah. So the machinery cubes I already said. The
oh, actually, sorry. I will check the dude that had the hard caliber pistol. To see if he has. Hollow
you get
point
yeah
ammo.
you get a bundle of hollow point. It is standard quality hollow point. And you get everyone gets, or whoever, someone's got to be writing this down because
I'm writing it all
cool,
down.
perfect. There's also 2 first aid cubes. There are 2 healing tonics that only heal 3 hit points and are standard quality. And then you also notice that all of these folks do have that same kind of broken auto injector that is empty.
Okay.
Oh,
I don't have time to take that with us, so I'm not going to do anything with it.
I will take his hard caliber pistol. I don't need the stats for it. I don't intend to use it unless you grabbed it already.
I've already grabbed it.
Cool, great. That's all. I just don't want them to pick it up.
Sweet.
And I do want to collect some ammo. If you can tell me.
Yeah.
What we got there.
There's medium firearm ammo and heavy firearm ammo and light firearm ammo. It's all firearm. None of them had projectiles.
Sure. And all standard quality as well.
Yes. And it's also armor piercing. The medium firearm ammo, which I think is the one that matters to you, is armor piercing.
Excellent. Thank you.
That's why it's armor piercing 4.
I load. Actually, I think I only load the guns on pit stop, and then we start heading. I'm gonna fix my armor.
We should relocate camp,
Yeah.
says Leo.
Yeah.
There was Gus. You fought a group of 3, but they typically travel as 6 and split off. So there's another group of 3 out there that definitely heard that.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to be moving.
Yep. I'll keep a watch out. Let's get back to camp so we can
It
move.
strikes me as a target that is relatively easy to pick off.
It'll be risky.
just
It's
leave our
close to
teams,
this. It's close to this kerfuffle. We could
All
do
right,
it
let's-
if we're quick.
Let's make some ground. Let's make some ground and find a better place to fight. I don't think it's worth it.
Right.
Our advantage remains territory and tactics.
Okay. Let's
Agreed. And you guys return to your camp, collect your things, and as you are like a quarter of the way.
We packed up the camp.
Oh, cool. That's right. Yeah, you
Everything's
completely
on
packed up
pit
camp.
stop.
Perfect. So you guys basically traverse the amount of distance that would be back to your camp in a different direction away, like deeper into the mountains. You do some more scouting around the area just to like check Dex because you are good at survival. Go ahead and roll a survival test for me just to scope out another very advantageous position
Okay.
for the camp to be set up.
Does my survival kit help?
Yep, absolutely. And while y'all are kind of making that distance, you basically travel the amount of distance it would be to get back to your camp and then like a little bit further. And around that amount of time, you do see a flare go up nearby where what you presume, like judging distance wise, it's where Gus took out those 3 guys.
I don't sense any like humans with names around us, do I?
Is it long lasting?
It is long lasting.
Okay, yeah, you still have it. No, you have traversed in a point where you know that your senses would not touch where those dead bodies are.
No, I know. I just in general.
Correct.
I guess
As you
I
go
am
deeper in
paying
the
attention.
mountains, nothing, no new humans. Plenty of random new animals.
I regret asking this question.
There is an animal with a name.
There's an animal with a name?
Terrifying. Did it name itself?
Telepod.
There's an animal with a name.
What?
Trying to decide if I want to message it to you secretly, Addie, but I won't. You see for a moment the name Umbra.
Well, that's nothing. Let's move on.
It is a jackalope. It is a jackalope in remarkable health. You see it briefly. There's a named animal named Umbra. Jackalope, remarkable health. You see it for a bit. It goes away.
Okay. I just probably don't know about animals. I guess animals could make their own names. I don't know.
No.
That'd be so sweet if that's how detect life works. It's like, yeah, there's an animal over there, but it named itself this.
My name's
you
Figgy
see
Bottom.
There's nothing in the rules that says that's not how it works.
Did you see the orphanage though? In town.
I didn't go inside.
But the orphanage
But the-
has a sign with a
has
with a
sign.
jackalope that does say Umbra on it. Now that I think about it.
But I did not go inside.
Oh, she never went inside to buy a station, so no.
No.
Oh, that's right. Okay,
Yeah, so
good.
so she never saw the orphanage.
Like I said,
Wow.
well, that's nothing. Let's move on.
Right.
While we're traveling, I'd probably have Elle fix my armor as well,
Yeah,
if she doesn't mind.
I will. Cool. Yeah, I guess I should actually have dice. I forgot to get mine.
That was
I was like, fuck, this is gonna be so mean because Seth is gonna get so excited, but I'm gonna be like, and then it goes away. and no one has any reason to think that it's anything whatsoever.
It's so important that Eloise did not mention that to Leo Ricks.
Yeah, it's why I thought about messaging it, because like it is the thing that Eloise would register but probably never say. And I was like, is it a secret? And I was like, nah, fuck it. You all get to know. We know how to separate player and character knowledge.
Nope, I don't. Never learned it.
Porter's like, we must go this way.
I got 3 successes on survival, speaking of which way we should go.
Perfect. Yeah, the camp you find is not as perfectly hidden as the one you found before, but because you guys decided to leave when you did, and you have plenty of daylight to burn getting deeper into the mountains, you've put some good distance between you and them, so that you honestly think, Dex, you guys might have a full day to like prep for Blackstar to move into this next like leg of the mountains.
Okay.
Like you could keep traveling and they'd eventually catch up with you as they like kind of got better at tracking you assume. But at this point you put enough distance quickly between you that like them having to clean up where they were and search that area for you, you think they're going to, based on the terrain around here, take about a day before they are searching around where you are right now, which means you could venture back in with purpose, or you could set up here with purpose. It's up to you.
Does this terrain seem advantageous enough that like it's worth like preparing to have a fight here? Or
It's kind of all like there's so much around that there's always advantageous places. Like you can pick out spots like that are like straight up super advantageous where you can fucking like drop rocks on them and full on like, you know, Endor them.
Great. I think here. And I think we've got the time to start making this our battleground.
They're gonna come at us harder now after what they've seen. Leo says, looking at Gus.
All the more reason to get to work.
Will 7 hit points fix your armor, or is it? Do you need more? How many are you missing?
I would be missing 4.
Oh. Okay, then I will just spend an extra machinery cube.
Also, I can give you my Hodag prod to salvage.
Salvaging takes more time. I'll just use this and then
Okay.
if you need it, just in case. Okay. So you are all full up.
Thank you.
And then I'll move over to Porter. Same thing. Right? 'Cause you got
I
hit, right?
I got hit, but the only damage I sustained was armor piercing because my toughness took out every other damage. So after this breather, I should be fine.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, you guys get a breather.
Thanks,
so that's what, 4 hit points
stuff
back to
is-
everyone because of Porter.
Yeah.
That's right. I like sprinkle some medicine in the stew that Gus makes. A little Munson Caliente so nobody can really taste it. But yeah, that's an extra +2 +4 altogether. And yeah, thanks for this armor's so excellent. You are so good at what you do.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm glad it does what it's supposed to. Do you need another first aid cube for it? Did you use it?
Oh, I mean, I've still got 9. Why don't you hang on to it?
Okay, that sounds good.
Yep.
And then I'll move over to Dex.
My armor's fine.
All right. I picked up that man's hard caliber. Hard caliber pistol. Is there anything you would want on it?
I'll take a look at it and see what's going on here.
Okay. It's just on pit stop. Just let me know how you want it. And then I will move over to Leo Riggs.
He is patching up his own armor. Actually, I don't actually know if he got shot at. So I guess he's not
I don't
patching up
think
his
he did.
armor. He is crafting more ammunition. And he looks up to you. He has the mask off now. He looks up to you. He seems more tired than usual. And he goes, Ms. Reynolds, to what do I owe the pleasure?
I'm afraid if I get you that you're gonna leave.
You broke
But
up.
also
You
I
broke
would
up
not.
there. What did you say? I'm
Oh,
afraid what?
I'm afraid that if I give this to you, you're gonna leave. But I would also not like. I know that you won't die, and I don't want this to die with me alone. So I made you a copy. Please don't leave. And I'll hand him a copy of the schematics for Brimstone, the copy I made.
He slides down the green tinted glasses off his face as he presses like the little like terminal that you've handed him that lights up.
It's an interactable hologram, of
Yeah,
course.
of course it is. That's your style. And he looks at that, and you can see it reflecting in his eyes. And maybe unconsciously, you see him use an insight power as his eyes full on with the glasses off, like in that kind of perhaps burst of excitement. You watch as his like kind of like hazel brownish eyes become like full on emerald green. It's not the same as the tell that like you have and many illuminated people have and Gus can occasionally have, where like their eyes emit like a glow. It's literally just his pupils change color, or not pupils, his irises change color to a much more vibrant green. It's a very, very subtle tell, and you immediately understand that he wears green tinted like sunglasses, because it is almost impossible to see that tell through those lenses. It turns green, and you're also able to perceive as the like dark rotting veins on his face lessen a little bit and recede a little bit. And that tiredness that you saw in his face goes away. And he's just staring at the hologram. His eyes return back to Hazel. He sets down his glasses and goes, well, Miss Reynolds, I'd be a real son of a bitch if I left y'all hanging here. And Blackstar's my enemy, same as yours, so he like moves his hand to the left, and like the like map spins, and like a part of it opens up that like kind of like highlights around like where Scruff wrote a lot of notes on like the lab and stuff like that. He goes, and I ain't ever had such capable allies. I've had friends, I've had folks, I've had loyalists. You got this Scruff fella to trust you. How'd you do that? He seemed mighty skittish enough to run away after one meeting.
Well, he's he's just like everybody else. He's like me, especially. People just want people.
He don't seem to
And
want people. Seems to
he's
want to be left
afraid. He's
alone.
afraid of people, but everybody gets lonely. And if you can find somebody who you think is genuine, then it's easy to make them your people. So a lot of people lie, I guess, and I'm real bad at it. So And
You got heart and compassion, empathy. It's hard to find in these parts.
I think that everybody has it. You just gotta look for it.
I've met some people and I've dove real deep into their personalities and who they is. Sometimes you just come up empty-handed. Sometimes. You got away with people, Miss Reynolds. I don't know what you and your folk are interested in doing after we take out Blackstar, but FBC's work doesn't end there. If you and yours want to keep fighting the fight, I can't imagine a more capable crew to take care of specific difficult shit that needs to get done around town.
I'm not much of a fighter.
You don't have to be a fighter to be useful, hun. Look at this. He just like grabs the hologram and the image turns off and he goes, "This alone. You only find something like this in Ion Harbor. Some of the best tinkerers. But here we are in the Badlands. Punch Peaks, no less." Beep. And the thing comes back on and he goes, "Cursed fucking land. Bad place." You know, most people in the Badlands, they don't even talk about Western Badlands. Once you hit Tobias Station, everything to the west, piece of shit. Red Post, maybe. Most other places, garbage unless you're in Markham's Landing. But here we are. Dead center in the Badlands, and you're walking around in that power armor like it's just a backpack to you, but only other people with tech that good is coming from a library. All I'm saying is, fighting and everything. If we're going to change hearts and minds down the road, someone's got to be able to impress and talk. Now, you can do the impress, and that Janus fella, when he's on his game, seems to be able to talk the talk. I wasn't sure about the four of you. Most Richards I've seen, they want to get what they want to get and they want to move on. They don't want to sign on to anything big. They don't want to make commitments, tie themselves down. They want to fight a fight, mess things up, and leave someone else to clean it up from what I've seen. You four seem different. So I ain't running. I ain't running unless it's the way to get this to someone who can do something with it.
Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you. Now I need to try to find a way to get some shut-eye when all I want to do is memorize every last piece of this information.
Oh, it has an internal regenerating battery. You don't have to memorize it. It's fine.
Layers and layers of ways to impress, Miss Reynolds. You have a good night.
Mm-hmm. And I will leave.
Before I go to bed tonight, I would like to do a thorough scouting of the land around us.
Okay. Are you looking for anything in particular?
Yeah, I'm looking for anything we can use to our advantage in preparation for tomorrow. And like I basically like I want to do sort of what I did when we first landed here and like found everything that might be a threat to us, and, like found the sort of like natural things we can use to help us, like places to avoid because they're very bad for us, things like that.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead and roll a survival test. I'm gonna go ahead and just based on the scale and the fact that it's the middle of the night and you've been through some shit and you do need like, are you staying up to try and cover more ground, or are you trying to like do it in a period of time where you still can get rest?
Um, I think I will, given that I have miraculously gotten a full night's rest, like the last few nights of this, I think I will forgo rest to like give us as much time to
Cool.
make preparations.
Then you only have a -2. It would have been a bigger minus for you to try to do it in a period of time that allowed you to also rest for the night. But if you want to spend the evening doing this, it's only a -2 just because of the scale of the project.
Okay. And does my night vision goggles help at all?
I put it at a -2, kind of thinking about that because it's the
Okay,
night vision.
cool.
The night vision gives you +1, right?
Yeah, and it eliminates any penalties because of.
Oh, sure. Okay, then -1. Yeah, I forgot about the elimination.
Okay. Ooh. That's 4 successes.
Cool. So depending on what it is you want to achieve in the like day's time, if this is like a place you want to try and like set up a fight for, you have some options. So basically, if you want to do like scattered fights, you can pick out a couple.
Let me give you some direction, I guess, right? That'll be helpful.
Sure.
I would like to find places where like we can avoid them being able to get their full might into the space to fight us. Like not necessarily like, Thermopylae where 3 of us can hold a cavern while 100 of them charge at us, but like anywhere where it's going to be tough for them to get more than like that squadron of 6 we fought into a position to really do something.
Sure. So there's a couple places where like you can find to like jump them with advantage pretty easily if you want to like set up and wait there, or even bait them in there, perhaps. Like that is a potential like thing that you can achieve just with the amount of successes you have. There's like a handful of those locations. So if they spread out in like a similar way to what they did before, like you think you can pull that off. The other thing you find is you got 4 successes.
Mhm.
You find something rare. You go in, you're traveling, you're like spelunking a little bit through some cave paths that seem to connect to like other parts. And it's extremely rare to find certain animals at this altitude. And you find you can't fully imagine what transpired to cause this to happen. But in this altitude, you find a long abandoned burrow of an augerino.
Wow.
It looks like you have got 4 in survival. You know what you're looking at. It opens up and you like can guess that this burrow is where a baby was like a baby like kind of gestated and like was born, and then really quickly like made its way down deep into the ground, right?
Mhm.
But for some reason, at some point in history, an adult augerino was up in the Punched Peaks this high up and had a kid. And this is where it had its kid. And so like you basically like you go through the caves and then you like find them just like open up, and you immediately realize like you're not looking at like a naturally like occurring, like there's not like this wasn't made from like a body of water. There's actually no
Sure.
water anywhere nearby to the point of it being an augerino. They fucking hate water. You find this big open like area that like is smooth hewn stone. with even still this many, however many years later, little sprinkles and glitters of like that kind of like substance that augurinos kind of secrete to make it so the burrows, the holes that they break, have structural integrity enough to like stay intact. And so like you find like this like kind of oval shaped like disc of an area that has two entrances to the from the cave like network that you found. Both of them kind of go in, and then it looks like the ways down. There's like two big slanting like slopes down, that go deep into the ground, but you can see that they've caved in since.
Okay.
Basically, the amount of time that was spent in this burrow made it so that the augurino's like silica substance or whatever was able to retain still to this day without anything caving in. But those shoots down, they went through once and never came back. And so it has caved in. And you think that like maybe in like, a couple dozen to like 50 years, this part of the Punch Peaks is going to fucking as this giant hollowed out spot is going to be completely like cave in and decimated.
Say I wanted that to happen sooner.
You may need to bring Eloise into the mix, possibly even Porter.
I mean, I didn't think that was something I could do on my own over here. Yeah, it strikes me that this looks very defensible and a nice place to like make a last stand. There's like only two ways in or out, except if, and I think I will actually get to work if I can with this role, like disguising one of the entrances so it doesn't look like there's a way in there.
Sure.
So that this is a place we can potentially like lure them into and then cave it in.
Sure. So you want to block one of the two entrances.
I don't want to block it necessarily. I want to hide it.
Got it. You have a very low muscle attribute, right?
Yeah. So basically, if that seems possible, and if everything that I want to do here requires additional assistance, that's fine. I will get help.
Basically, like, I would have to know how you would want to mask it without just like placing like stones, rock, and debris there, right?
I guess there's not really vegetation up here, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
There's no water around. Augurinos hate water.
Yeah. So then definitely this is a like thing for Gus to help with as I like direct.
Cool. Yeah, this is a very defensible position. An Augurino was born here and then burrowed all the way down to however deep Augurinos go to live. You also like note like, because it's underground, like no air vehicles are going to be able to come into play. Like this, like if you like, basically, you're up against a significant amount of forces and you found a couple spaces along the mountains where you could like pick and choose your fights and like try to win a war of attrition and hope that they don't adapt appropriately and manage to fight some fights that you can win to slowly whittle them down. But this spot here does feel like maybe, just maybe, with the like proper like preparation and maybe like preamble, y'all could fight this. Just like regardless of the difference in numbers.
All right, yeah. So I will scout that out over the night and come back in the morning with what I found.
Cool. You've had a very long day. I do need an endure test from you.
Why would you even ask for that? That's just mean.
Or survival. You have a survival kit. It's less like the survival kit is tough because it's not really from the elements. This isn't because of nature.
I've just been awake very long.
You've been awake very long. But the reason I'm letting you, if you want, you can use your survival kit.
I do want.
The reason I'm letting that happen is because part of your fatigue, a lot of your fatigue has to do with the terrain you're dealing with during all of this. If you're using a survival kit, though, it is a -1.
That's fine. I'm okay with this.
I figured you would be.
That's 4 hits.
Totally fine. You've been through so much worse situations. There's one point near the Silent Peak where Isabel made you stay up for a week and a half straight because she said you weren't allowed to sleep until you found the Glowacus that was hunting you.
I thought for sure there was no Glowacus. And then on like day 10, there was a Glowacus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like in retrospect, you think that like maybe Eloise Isabel like intentionally like made sure the Glowacus didn't get to you until you were like tired and near death so that you had to fight in that state, but you're not 100% sure.
Honestly, at this point, everything that looking back could be seen as God, why would they do that to me, has come up. Like direct, almost 1-to-1. Yeah, so I'll make it back to camp in the morning, I assume.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you guys actually wake up, Dex isn't there, but a little bit like as the like morning meal is like being finished, Dex fucking crests over a hill.
Oh, and also before I left, I did look at the hard caliber pistol that guy had,
Sure.
just to take a look and see what they're working with.
Nothing particularly fancy. It is an excellent quality light firearm with excellent hard caliber and excellent semi-auto.
Okay. I will pick it up, take a look at it, and if you're okay with it, I think before I leave, like hand it to Porter. 2 hands.
You think I can handle it?
Both hands.
That's actually a really solid play. Yeah, that's great. And as Dex crests over the hill, as the sun just barely peeks over his shoulder, silhouetting him, it doesn't look like Leo got much sleep as he puts away the device that Eloise gave him in the morning. You all have a little bit of stew with a little bit of medicine mixed in. It's sweet but spicy. And that's where we're going to take a break. Be right back, y'all. I got
Don't worry, nothing's gonna happen after the break. It's just gonna be a lot more campfire talk.
it's
Don't worry
all
about it. We're all
fine.
fine. Everyone's fine here. How are
We're
you?
not going to end this session also in the middle of initiative.
No!
Okay, cool. I got 10:09 on the clock. We're gonna be back a little bit before 10:15. We'll say like 10:13, 10:14, something like that. All right.
Cool.
We're back. Bye. Refresh your drinks. We'll see you soon.
That was
Hello,
wow.
we're back. Sorry, I gave you guys the wrong kind of timeline. I meant to make it a 10 or 15-minute break, and instead I made it a 5-minute break.
Tommy's holding a lot of things in his head. You can't expect him to also do math.
So that's
Got to mute himself for that.
that's my absolute yes. I do have to mute myself for that. That's my absolute biggest weakness as like a GM is like, yes, time to do math, and I'm like, everyone give me 15. I have to do some basic algebra, and I need everyone to shut the fuck up. All right. Well, we're back. We're back. Thank you all for waiting the extra bit of time. So any of you who are joining us now for the first time, for this session, these four drifters have been fighting Blackstar Mercenary Company in the Punch Peaks. They just won a skirmish with some of them, repositioned their camp, and have decided to figure out what they want to do next during that evening of recovery. Also, I didn't mention it, but if any of you have class 1 injuries, Dex, not you. But if everyone has class 1 injuries, they recover. And if anyone, basically mark recovery on you have 1 night of recovery on your injuries. That's the easier way to say it. That way everyone can keep track of like how many injury slots they still have open. You also all recover hit points equal to your durability and shine equal to your insight. Plus the durability one's +2 though, because Porter. Because both rests and breathers, you get an additional 2 hit points back because Porter is there and he's a good doctor. And yeah.
What about long-lasting effects from tonics?
Those
and
are
stone
those are
effect
gone
as well.
Yeah. Any long-lasting effects are gone as you guys rest through the night. Those were gone by the time you guys set up camp. So yeah.
Is this day 2?
This is the next day. Well, yeah, it's the morning of the next day.
I made a mind link with everybody, so I need to know what actual day it is since we got here. Is this day 2? I think it is.
You
the
were
morning
here
of the-
for an evening when you cast it.
Yeah.
And then everyone woke up the next day, went out and fought some people. And you traveled to this new location, went to sleep, and woke up. So it's about
I believe
36
this is
Tomorrow
hours.
morning will be, I think, when it ends. Okay.
Yeah, I think this is the last full day of the
Yeah.
mind link.
I just needed to make sure.
So you all wake up, start getting a little bit of sustenance, and at that moment, Dex arrives. His tent and bedroll were empty and untouched through the night, and he arrives at the break of dawn. Like dusty as all hell. He's been just walking around in the mountains for a whole night, and only because of his extreme survival instincts. Never once crossed the paths of anything that wanted to eat him. That's what the 3 successes were.
Wonderful.
Anyone else? I got 2 successes. Okay, you find a place. There's Warakin there.
He can use those. He's used those before.
Yeah. So it is the next day.
Sheesh, Dex, did you get any sleep at all?
No, I'm fine though. I think I found
Well,
something
at
we
least
can
have some
use.
stove.
Yeah, I sit down and start eating breakfast. I'm not a maniac. I think I found something we
What'd
can
you find?
use. So I came across an Augerino nest. Long abandoned.
Up here?
That's what I thought.
Was that strange or something?
It's pretty high up for an Augerino. They usually like to be in sort of like the flat lowlands of the Badlands.
Add that to another list of curiosities about the Punch Peaks.
The point is, that's a cavern mostly held up by the sort of, it turns into like almost a tiny scaffolding silica after the Augerino secretes it when it moves through the caverns. It's a big cavern being held up by something I think we could bring down, and it's got two ways in and out.
So
I
you think we
think
like
I think we can lure him in one way and bring the roof down on him while we escape out the other. And it's a decent place for a prolonged battle even before that.
I mean we wouldn't have to do much to lure them, right? If we just it would look as though that was our advantageous place to fight. They wouldn't necessarily immediately know we'd be trying to trick them.
Yeah, I mean, we'd want to take care to not make it too obvious, but you're right.
Sure.
Like, if I were tracking us and I came across that, I would think we would hide there.
Hmm.
The big thing is it takes their air vehicles out of play.
That's helpful.
But I don't have the skills to to move the boulders required to disguise the other entrance. I say, like, looking at Gus, or craft the explosives needed to bring the whole cavern down. I say as I look at Eloise. I think it's all of us together on this one.
That's a good plan. I like it.
The alternative is long drawn out war of attrition. There's a few spots where, assuming they have to break off into squads to move through this area, which they will have to some extent, there's some spots where we can have advantageous fights, hit them quick and get out, but we're talking days, maybe a couple of weeks fighting through these mountains, picking them off two or three at a time. It's a risk, but it's not so much of a risk that I don't think it's worth it. I think we might be able to win this fight here.
I think we got lucky the night before or the day before. I mean, we found a couple that were a little too far from the others. We managed to trick one group. Now that they know what they're up against, I can't imagine they're going to make that kind of mistake again. Maybe
I
we get
think
lucky
they'll-
again and find one more fight that we can win the same way without any of us real hurt, but all it takes is one bullet and our gunslinger's on the ground.
I think they'll be traveling in as large groups as they can manage, and the terrain will prevent that from being, 10 or 15, but I don't expect they'll be moving in squads of 6 that break off into squads of 3 regularly anymore.
Exactly.
Well, lead us up there.
All right. I do.
Cool. You all head and follow Dex. He shows you this small network of caves. It's not a very vast network of caves. It's just a couple of cave mouths that kind of come into a sort of centralized area that then does have a massive like hole where it was a big enough cave for an Augureano to get in, and then the Augureano was like, this isn't my home though. And the Augureano dug down into the ground a little bit and made its home there. So you guys follow Dex down that way, and you do kind of see this weird thing where it's like this naturally formed cave mouth from at some point, perhaps there being water here, or just the way that the mountain was formed, or something, maybe like accidental hounds, like hundreds or thousands of years ago, dug it out, right? Who knows? But what you do see is the like very stark difference of this like perfectly circular like hole that goes down at like a 45-degree angle for about like 50 feet and then leads into this like into this massive like cavern, where you also see another like broken like bit of rock that like leads up to one of the cave mouths. And yeah, you have this like kind of, we'll say like 80 feet diameter circle. $80 to $100. It's not a perfect circle, so. And Leo steps out and goes, "Oh, like you guys like have all your lights and everything, and like your lights barely like you don't even reach the ceiling with your lights, but like the silica like substance on the ceiling like kind of like glitters, even though you can't see the ceiling itself." And he goes, "Dark down here."
Yeah. So we try to get him in here. Is the plan?
I think if we can get them in through the way we just came, it's a natural bottleneck. They'll have to come through in smaller numbers to get in. And then I point out like the way out. And if we can disguise that so they don't spot it before we need to use it,
Mm.
I think that's where we can leave from.
They'll think they have us cornered.
Exactly.
It's good.
And I think if they think they have us cornered, they'll ever commit.
Well, if we have some extra time, some of those smaller pathways we can maybe set some gas traps or something. I don't know if we'll have the time to craft it, but I can help make the bombs if you like. El.
Sure.
So we need
Do you know?
a way to bring down this whole cavern. We need a way to mask that exit over there. And then also we want to try and have a little bit of a skirmish in the caves outside and retreat back here.
Maybe. If we can do this quick enough that we can get traps out there, maybe there's an opportunity to take them out while they're in there. But I think its function as a bottleneck is more important than its function as an ambush spot.
Yeah, and maybe we can set up tracks from where we lay the traps to in here to help to funnel them in here.
Not a lot of cover in this terrain.
Is the spots where like the Augury like dug down? I kind of assumed that like the ground had been displaced and like dug in, right?
Yeah. That's like the most like deformed bit of this. There's a lot of smooth surfaces though. He goes, "Not a lot of cover around here. I have some machinery cubes. I could prop up some barricades and whatnot. Give us something to work with if we need to reposition. Something to work around. I mean, that entrance there we're going to lead them through, there's a lot of them still. And I mean, you can shoot fast, but they're going to be able to take some ground."
Yeah. No, anything we can do to make this battleground more favorable helps us. The longer we can hold out here, the more soldiers they have to commit to this place.
What's to stop them from just camping outside? Right? If it were me, I had a bunch of drifters cornered in a mountain with chokehold like this, I'd sweat them out. Eventually, they would need supplies, food, whatnot.
Well, they want Elle and I alive. Plus, they don't know what other ways there are out of this cave, right?
I mean, that way over there goes back to the same cave network. I mean, I'm sneaky, so is Dex. We could go forage sometimes, but that's a risk. That entrance don't go undiscovered over a long siege type situation.
No. Right.
And then at that point, we are cornered. If Fawcett's got a modicum of patience, we need a way to needle him into a fight. We need to needle him into committing. Otherwise, he'll hold back. That's what I would do. I wouldn't fight this fight for Too long, lose a dozen soldiers maybe, and then call it quits. Camp up outside.
All right.
Maybe
What
Porter.
are you thinking?
Maybe Porter could talk him into it.
Got an angle you can play? I mean, you did speak to the guy for 5 seconds and he sent a whole army after us. He's mad as hell at you.
You're awful quiet there, Porter.
The Dex helped with that for sure. Shooting his well, I'm sure he would perceive that person as a pet. I mean, I know that he hates the head of the Sheffields. I know that it would be a good mark for him to get Eloise and Gus. I think if they catch up to us outside, we could bring him in. I think he knows that I'm after something of his. If we can get him to be the head of the attack party, maybe, because he hasn't been involved in any of our fights. If he goes in, he'll have his people with him.
If he goes in and we cave him in, Porter, will we be able to get the thing you need?
We'd have to get him forced.
Hmm.
That's not a problem, though. If we can drug him. And if they think they're coming in after him to rescue him, then that's when we can blow the explosive.
All right. Well, then how do we get him? I guess Raven's that you and me.
What, drug him?
I got I can Porter and Elle made these really cool things where I can put him to sleep using my fists.
I gotta make sure I'm following this right. You're saying we kidnap Fawcett and then try to lure his forces here?
I think Fawcett comes in of his own accord. If I can strike the right nerve, he leads the charge. His people follow him. We get him, and then they're going after him.
I mean, if he's taken out, they're not gonna have someone. They'll have some people calling the shots, but they won't have Fawcett calling the shots, and he's the one who would give the order to stop the attack.
That's right.
If you get him through that door early and we're able to take him out, then maybe we can lure enough of them in here. Maybe not all of them, but enough for us to cave the place in and find our way out of the Punch Peaks.
It's worth a shot.
Let me check something real quick. Can I have one of the radios we have?
Yeah, I honestly, like, I know Leo grabbed one, Eloise grabbed one. I figured you guys had, like, a handful. There's no reason for you not to be able to listen in if they're nearby.
Yeah, do they have multiple channels?
They do.
Cool.
They have a whole 3 channels.
Cool. We haven't heard anything for quite some time.
Correct. Yeah. You guys pulled off. Like, when that flare went up, you heard you couldn't make out words, but you did hear someone was transmitting something.
Okay. Yeah, I'll Turner's to channel 3. And then I will head out to the other end of the caves and just click it a few times to transmit to see
if it transmits down into the Agarino den.
Yeah.
No.
I'll start coming back in and at what point?
Yeah. In the caves, not within line of sight of the Agarino's first channel. That's where you get some staticky communications. Outside the caves, absolutely not. Inside the caves, staticky communication. Once you are within the tunnel that leads into the Agarino's den, the signal becomes a little bit clearer, and then only about halfway through that tunnel is it 100% clear. It seems the substance that the Agarino leaves behind does block radio signals pretty well.
Okay, so then the like inferring from that, it's probably better going out. Like if you were outside of the cave and somebody was at the end, like not at the last part before it's an Ocarina tunnel.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. Outside the caves to the point where the Ocarina tunnel begins, 100%. I mean, like
Great.
a little staticky.
I mean,
There's-
yeah, I mean it's a cave.
yeah. But like the words are clear.
All right, we've got their radios. We've got 2 of their flare guns. I think we've got the tools to lure them here, and force them to make a mistake without having to try and kidnap a guy who, if his heart stops, the thing Porter needs explodes.
And then
Right.
how do we get them in then? I don't want us to be trapped here and starving.
Are you thinking, what, lure a squad in here, wipe them out, flare and fake some radio calls?
It's simple, but I think it'll work.
It's not bad. Not a bad plan.
All right. Well, I've heard what I need to hear. And Gus just starts moving boulders.
I want to make you roll because you have the time. I assume you're masking the outside of the tunnel. That way,
Yeah,
it seems like there's
basically, I want there to be a tunnel for us to leave from. That the end of that tunnel
is
like,
a big rock
not-
that Gus can push out of the way.
Yeah,
Basically. And I think from the inside of like the Ocarina like nest, it's also disguised, so they don't even see that there's like a way out that way, right?
Sure.
Gives us a little more time to escape.
Yeah, that's just taking some of the like broken up land from like the 2 chutes that went down, like taking some of that and like building up like basically that you can make a terrain that like makes it at a glance not look like it, but makes it so your team can still go through pretty much unhindered.
Cool.
Because that's more of a matter of perspective than a matter of like true disguise.
yeah, it's a far distance. The light is bad.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It'll work for what we need.
Yeah. And then on the other side, Gus has plenty of time to like literally stop that thing up with like one boulder that like Gus with his strength, even unenhanced, can shift to make the thing break open so that you guys can get out.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, you have the time to do that. Gus has the skill to do that. And if Gus isn't doing anything else like dramatic during the day, no test required, no endure roll required. You have plenty of food, plenty of water. You can take breaks. You're fine. This is just the day on the farm for Gus.
Yeah, honestly. What, do you need something tilled? Need something plowed?
Gus is just moving boulders like he's got like one on the shoulder and like one on his hip as he's just like walking. He's like, yeah, one time we like expanded into like a neighbor's farm and they had a quarry and like this was just my life for like 2 years.
Yeah. There's a twister right by the quarry, and the quarry was fine, but it tore up a whole bunch of them rocks and put it right in the middle of the field. We were planting the next day, so I had to wake up early. Oh, it was a whole mess.
To your absolute disgust, there is a point during the evening where Gus does a couple push-ups just to finish out his workout. Just a light workout, just a light little one.
Light.
Yeah, can I like assist? Can I like survey this cave to figure out like the best points so that we can use the least explosives possible to like minimize the amount of time required to craft them?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can go ahead and roll survival at a -4. The substance you can tell by like even touching, even though the substance is deteriorated, like it is extremely strong.
It's still strong.
Yeah.
I'm legally required by the law of manifest to go it strong on this roll. Spend 3 great. These 3 14s explode now.
Unreal. We've been rolling hot tonight.
I have 7 successes.
Hooey. Cool.
Where's the exhaust port on the Sagarino cave?
This is the fun bit. So you got how many successes?
7.
Okay. So that will expand into I'll put a pin in that for a second. Eloise and Porter, you guys are gonna be planning. What are you up to? Like Dex is saying like he needs some help creating some charges. Porter, you thought about maybe creating some traps in the caves for the initial fight.
Yeah.
Tell me what you guys want to achieve, because basically Dex's role is assisting you via terrain.
If I can do it in the amount of time I want to make the traps, but I want to make sure that Eloise has the time to make the bombs. So if she needs assistance, I think that's more important.
Well, I already have a medium explosive.
The kinds of explosives you would want, Eloise, would be not charged.
The shape charges.
Just the shape charges, yeah.
Breaching charges.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, so the only other thing I guess my first question is silica on Earth is generally magnetic. Is it true of this substance?
Yes, your mag belt, it's not as perfect, but your mag belt does make it so you can carefully traverse. You wouldn't be able to, like, a mag belt, like if you were like running on a metal ceiling, you could just full on run like nothing was going on with a mag belt. Here, you wouldn't be able to run. You would have to kind of crawl. Like, it's the connection isn't perfect, and there's a couple moments where there will be like kind of like a gut wrenching like as like the gravity like shifts and then shifts back, because the mag belt can't get a perfect connection like it does to metal.
Okay, that's fine. It is technically a metalloid anyway. Cool. Then, as far as like spending resources, I have I figure some floodlights pointed at the entrance to where they would come in, so we could nest behind them. Not directly behind them, obviously, because they will shoot them out. But to give them like a more difficult time of seeing when they come in through the entrance. I'd like to put those a few of those up, and then I wanted to make some like deployable cover. So like I have a bunch of tech cubes, so I could like, you could like throw them out and then they'd be like.
Yeah. I will say basically stuff that some of the like the lights easy. That's like 2 tech cubes, you get a bunch of floodlights. 1 tech cube, you get some floodlights. Up to you. And also, if you're not trying to make it like an extreme like spotlight type situation, you just want to have this place be well lit. Like 1 tech cube, you have a perfectly well lit place with some light shining on the thing. If you're making a breaching charge, that is a class 3 item.
Got it.
So you know that you only have at minimum a day, maybe longer, but at minimum a day.
Right. Okay. Well, then I don't do any of that, and I just make the.
Well, so you can get the place, like you can spend 1 tech cube, get the place lit up, and get some like floodlights that are pointing right at that entrance.
Yeah, I want it to be almost like pitch black, but like I want them to be like stage lights, right? like where when you're looking at them, you can't really see beyond them.
Sure.
So
You can definitely set that up with a tech cube.
okay.
It will just like, because you're only
If you
using
can
one.
make them, I can place them.
That's just a tech cube. That's nothing. That's like really quick.
Okay. Well, okay. Cool. I'll do that, and then I guess I'll give him the dex, and then I will create a bomb with which I will kill 40 people and be totally 100% okay. with
I'll just
that.
give the detonator to someone else, right?
Yeah, no, that's totally how that works. Guns kill people, not people killing people. Yeah.
So in order to pull this off, you think you probably need a medium explosive with that has a breaching charge, like a medium breaching charge explosive.
Okay.
Um,
And you can't
But-
augment an explosive that's already been created, right?
correct, because it's just different types of explosives.
Okay.
But Dex did survey this area really, really well, and you only need to make a batch of small breaching charges, as Dex has identified exactly the pinpoint moments. Like this right here is deteriorated, this right here is crumbling. Like these are the places where if you hit them, this place will fucking cascade. Like you don't have to break down this whole section. You need to break down this one bit, it'll break, and then the other places around it will break as well. And that means you only need 7 machinery cubes and 2 tech cubes.
Ah.
Oh, and if we've got time, I don't know if it helps, but seriously, you can have. I've got a medium melee weapon you can have.
What do I have that I can break down?
Well, you have that
Look at that.
medium firearm that you have.
Is that the actual crafting code of it, Tommy? Because original design, I believe, reduces that.
It doesn't matter. I'm short machinery cubes.
That does
I
make
have
it.
machinery
You
cubes,
can
I'm running.
reduce. You can reduce the code I just gave you by I think 2 because of original design.
But I still don't have enough.
But you
I have
grad.
5 machinery cubes.
Okay. I need
Does that get you there?
I have 4 right now. So I need I guess 1, and then I will be out all of my machinery cubes.
Well,
but
you also have
it'll-
that medium firearm that you said you wanted to salvage and you never rolled
Yeah,
for.
but it's a class 3 item, so it's going to take a hot minute. I don't have time, at least I don't think, to do that and then do what I need. But that's okay. Yeah, so I
Take as
will.
many days as you need.
It's hours. Class 3 item is 3 hours. 1.5 because of your Omni tool.
Well, then I'll have time afterwards. Yeah, so I just need 1. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, of course.
And then I have 4 tech cubes left. Okay. And then I will roll.
Cool.
No. I will make my own luck.
Okay.
There we go. It's 6, or is it 8? What class item is this?
3.
So it's
So 6.
6.
Mhm.
Okay, then I have exactly that.
Cool.
Excellent.
So I assume you cut corners to make it happen, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
If you because that you need it to be under
Yeah.
a day, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So you cut corners, you make a standard quality, you make 3 standard quality small explosives that have the small breaching charge explosives. And that's all you need according to Dex to make this happen.
I give them to him. Then I start breaking down the shotgun.
You have enough time. You get the full amount. I'm not gonna make you roll for it.
Okay.
You don't have anything that adjusts the amount that you get from salvaging, right?
No. I don't think so. I mean, I just have like a
Yeah, you get
The
5
standard
machinery
stuff.
cubes out of that.
okay.
Porter, you didn't assist Eloise, right?
No, I luckily didn't need to. That's what I was worried about. I'm just gonna make. I'd like to try and make these traps. I don't know if I'll be successful. Basically, what I'm trying to make is like something that has a pressure sensor that when that is pressed, it releases a tonic in gas form. In one of these like bottlenecks, kind of.
Cool. You don't have any gas explosives, right? At your disposal, or do you?
No.
Okay.
No.
So for 5 machinery cubes, 2 tech cubes, and 1 first aid cube, because you have mass production, you can create 4 small gas explosives.
Okay. I only now have 4 machinery cubes, so would I be able to borrow
You
any
can
from
have the
anybody,
one-
or would that
You
be?
can have the one back that I had.
Are you sure? Because I need you to have the things that you need. You're better at crafting than I am.
No, that's fine. I've already made the
All right.
explosives and this gun. Nobody was going to use it, so I just took it apart.
I will
Fair
say,
enough.
even with you cutting corners here, Porter,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to be planting these right before y'all fight, because you can turn it into a day and a half project by cutting
Yeah.
corners. And then like that's it. Because
I mean,
Eloise
the
is busy.
location's already.
Eloise is using her Omni tool and stuff like that. So like basically like you're gonna like run up right to the point where you guys are probably gonna have to fight, which means you're gonna like be planting these like maybe during initiative or right before initiative gets called.
If someone could show me the best spots for him, Gus can go plant them because he's
Yeah.
fastest.
Maybe you build some gas grenades that you can throw at folks, and we just make some bear traps that we can put in these bottlenecks.
Does that cut the time down, or is that the same
It
class
means you
item?
don't have to be in the thick of it placing them.
He is
Oh,
referring
fair
to the
enough.
fact that you could use injection ammo to singularly target people with your tonics, and then you wouldn't have to worry about like basically the benefit of a gas like explosive is that it can hit multiple people. Otherwise your injection ammo.
No, what I meant is instead of trying to make gas explosive traps, make some gas explosives that we can throw into this bottleneck, and we'll just put some traps that don't take you so long that you'll be placing them as people are running.
The small gas explosives that he would even be able to throw are the same thing.
Right, but he can throw them if he's not trying to make a trap that someone steps
Just-
on.
Got it.
Rather than it being like, right, we're just changing the flavor of it. It's the same item, but yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. That
Except you don't have to place a gas grenade.
Instead of it being a thing that you
But it
lay
was
down, it's a thing
cool.
that
Come
is
on.
tossed.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fine, because the only problem with that is it takes out something that I was gonna do later to set off one of my triggers. But that's fine. That's not how I should be playing the game anyway. Whatever.
It is how you should. Okay, cool.
Just try to keep you from getting your whole arm shot off, Porter, as you frantically try and place a gas
Give
trap.
the viewers what they know is gonna happen. Just give it to them.
God, I've never been more nervous than Seth. I love you, but you were like, "Yeah, I can help out making grenades. I can roll dice to help make explosives." I was like, "No, please, not with the Porter dice."
You're not wrong.
Okay, Porter.
do
Roll. It's a machinery test.
Yep.
Or first aid on -2.
Let's see. 4 dice for 6. 4 dice for 11. Which of those is better? I can't use the med kit for this.
Correct. You
Right.
cannot.
That's fine. These are 4 enemies. Have to use my enemy dice. Is this my first impression with these traps?
No.
Okay. Okay.
I wish there was a GM grid expenditure to raise the chance of a misfire.
I don't.
That's so rude.
Rule.
just so I
don't need
can
to have
just so I
that
can punish
rule.
you for that joke.
It's
3 successes.
it's called take your own luck.
It's 3 successes and it's a class 3 item, right?
You need 6.
So I need.
Oh no, you
6
don't. You don't
just
need.
in
You don't
order
need
to-
6.
Or do I need 3?
You're
because
cutting
I'm
corners. You're cutting corners. Yeah.
That's what I was. Okay, good. So that cuts in half. That means I make these standard quality grenades then.
You might still have to twist the knife.
You do make standard quality. Oh, you got 3, right? So you do make standard quality.
That's right.
Oh, great.
If I twist the knife, does that make it a better quality or no? Right. That's as high as I can go. That's what I figured.
Yeah.
Good.
Cool. You make 3 standard quality gas grenades that you can throw.
He makes 4.
Oh yeah, you make 4
And-
because mass
and-
production.
I make 4 of them. That's great.
Cool. That
And
is
then
going to
he's
take up
pointing
your
out to me where the
time.
battle axe is. That's where I'm going. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That's going to take your time all the way up. It's like you're not done by the end of the day. You are going to have to spend the morning and early afternoon of next day finishing that, which is around the time that you all expect like the soldiers to be in the area where you might be able to bait them into this area, into this like trap. So Gus is moving boulders all day. Eloise is creating breaching charges all day. Porter is creating gas grenades all day. Dex and Leo don't actually have like one thing that is taking them the entire day, though Dex is involved in like helping Eloise like know what kind of explosive and where it needs to go and stuff like that. But there's a point where Leo and Dex, I think the two of you are like scouting out the area together, and you're away from the Agarino den and you're out there in the sun of the Punch Peaks. And Leo goes, "What's this cause to you, Gunslinger?"
Is it hard to figure out?
I don't know. Gunslingers always confuse me. They keep going on about how it's just the right thing to do. In my experience, people don't do things just because they think it's right. They do things because there's a way they can come out on top. You're really just playing. What happens after, let's say we go the whole way. Take out Blackstar, target Brimstone, take out Brimstone, move on. What do? People like me, we think of, okay, well now there's a new world to be built, there's prejudice to be combated. There's stuff down the road that I gotta think of after I win. But you win, and then there's no one left to fight. What do? Just bust up some bandits that are trying to rob a bank? Seems like a big shift in importance.
Not to the people in that bank.
Fair?
I had this conversation with Gus. We were out in the mountains in Fort Dearborn. Whole militia trying to keep us under watch, trying to keep us under their thumb. We were tracking, I made a note at the time, Jack Taylor. Gus tried to explain it as math. There was more good to be done out in the world if we cut and run and let the militia do whatever it is they're trying to do out there. And I live to fight another day somewhere else. Being a gunslinger isn't math. Just because you leave something bad as it is doesn't. If you leave something bad as it is to fix something else, it doesn't make that bad thing okay. There's plenty of people out there. I hope you're like them. They can fix the big, complicated problems that you can't shoot. But those small things like bandits robbing a bank, if I'm there, I'm gonna try and stop it. Because that teller's still dead at the end of the day. And it doesn't matter that I wasn't there and I was off fighting Brimstone, stopping this big, vast, militarized operation. Someone good is dead because someone evil pulled the trigger. So, sure, we beat Brimstone, and then I move on. It's exactly like you said.
You talk like a real gunslinger. Them ain't your guns, he says, pointing at Caldwell's guns.
No, they are not. And as soon as we can, I will return them to where they belong.
What is it called? Legionnaires? My studies are correct.
Right?
Where are they located at? How far of travel you got?
Hard to say.
Well, happy to have you on my side. Gunslingers can fall on a lot of different lines, on a lot of different angles. Part of the trade, I guess, putting so much power in the hands of one's individual discretion.
You know, I can see how it looks that way from the outside. But no, we don't.
Suppose we're done for the day. They're not going to be coming. I can hear the gyrocopters closing in, but they're not showing up before sunfall. And then at that point, it ain't going to matter. They're going to wait until the next break of day to keep scouting. So I'd say about midday is when we can expect them to be in the region. We thinking you and I go and jump them?
I think it's worth us being outside, keeping an eye out. If the opportunity presents itself, we have to press every advantage we've got.
Mr. Bailey, the line between good and evil, It ain't clean and it ain't straight. Might be you and I met at a different time and you'd look at me in a different light. Might be you think I was an agent of evil, no redemption to be had. So we're going to go out here and we're going to try to fight an army together. Should I confess my sins?
I'm not a preacher, Leo. You got sins on your mind. Keep them to yourself.
Lines y'all draw. Baffling.
I disagree. And I start heading back.
He sits there, looks at the like sunset for a little bit longer, and follows you back to the cave. Where you can see he has set up barricades to give you guys opportunities to dive to cover if you need. Eloise has charges set. Porter has grenades almost done. And Gus has adequately masked the entrance of the secondary cave. You guys have an evening.
If there's time, I don't know if Porter needs to be constantly working all the way through. Do you take a look at this? And I like peel up my armor where there's a very, very large bad bruise.
Oh, yeah. Did you get shot?
I mean, a little bit.
Yeah. You can't, I could have worked on this right after it happened. You've just been trying to like what, breathe through this? Come on.
I had to move. This is Porter. This is not bad. If I had to fight with this, that would be okay. But if I don't, that's better.
I can tell you 100% I agree with that. I'd like to roll for healing this.
Yep. Yeah.
Just a class 1 injury.
To treat the injury.
Oh, sure.
It's first aid.
That is 3 hits.
I think that does it, right? Like class 1 injury is just 2 successes, right?
Yeah, he has physician also. So
Oh, so it's just 1.
That's right. Thanks for remembering my thing.
God, I had a flash of panic of like, this can't be it. This can't be how Tommy gets an arm.
I did.
I'm treating a class 1 injury.
Man, I thought about
I did roll
bamboozling.
120, so
I thought about like
Why?
hardcore bamboozling, but then I was like, it's just a leg though. I can't make him lose an arm by Porter trying to treat an injury on a leg.
You lack imagination.
A leg is just an arm on the bottom.
That's true. Yeah, I've heard people say that.
Mhm. That's from my brother's in med school and he told me that.
Nice.
Thanks, Porter. That's a lot better.
Good. Yeah. Just keep that on until, well, at least through the night. All right. The poultice will help you heal.
Well,
And please be safe. I know your thing is to mete out justice, but don't put yourself in danger if you can help it at all.
Porter, if I find a way to win this fight and none of us have to be in danger, I'll do that.
Well put. And I pull him into like a little awkward hug before we separate.
Anyone else have anything through the night?
I'm gonna recast telepathy tonight.
Okay.
Okay.
Roll it up.
Four hits. So that's another 3.5 days with me in your brains. You're welcome. Then I get all of that shine I immediately spent back.
Yep.
Which is very important.
Anything else for the evening?
That's
I go to
it.
bed early and
Yeah.
I don't talk to anybody.
You're all camping inside the Auguino den, right? At this point?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. It's dark. You don't
Are-
really have ventilation for a fire or anything like that, so.
Ella, are you sleeping in my tent? You said you didn't talk to anybody. That's why I asked.
Sure.
Okay, good. Because my tent is actually pit stop, and we split out his legs and like pulled down a tarp so that he's a little triangle horse tent.
That's maybe the
ridiculous.
most horrifying thing I've ever heard.
That's upsetting.
Legs come out, extend a little bit, and then
That sucks to hear about.
Did you just want to say that, or is there a conversation to be had here?
No. That was the most important thing. If she doesn't want to talk, I don't think Porter pushes her.
Oh my god.
Oof.
I hate you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. The next day comes. You all have rested up. You have injuries still. Mark recovery. And then Leo is one of the first out to scout. And even within the den of the Auguino that you are all camped up in, you do all kind of wake up to the sound of like vehicles, just like not super close, every once in a while passing overhead, just and Leo, by the time you all wake up, Leo is not there. And then like Dex, I assume you go out to kind of scout a little bit, and Leo meets you and he goes, "They're close. Whatever they got, they've identified this as probably the most like advantageous place for the camp. Whatever it is, they decide to pick here first. So it's hairy out there, Mr. Bailey. And we want to draw some people in. All we got to do is poke our heads out, I think. It's only a matter of time before they find these caves. Whole army seems close by.
Let's try and catch at least somebody's attention, but we have to be ready. I don't want to have somebody poke their head out and immediately get it blown off.
All right. Fight starts now. Who's coming with me? I'll try and draw them in.
I would like to detect life. at
Sure.
Long range.
Yeah.
Because I hate myself. Who needs shine? I don't need shine. I should have spent this last night. This is a mistake. I hate it.
See if we can find out about that copperbird family we heard about a few episodes back.
Yeah.
Yeah, has the copperbird given birth?
I don't know.
How's that egg doing?
How's that
You,
egg
that's
doing?
you guys are so far away from that copperbird.
You don't know.
All right. Well,
They can fly, Tommy.
Can fly,
Oh,
Tommy.
what if they were like looking over us? That'd be nice. Okay. 4. So, you know, the whole shebang. I hate that. And then I just, you know, everybody gets a little HUD I guess, for where people are as long as they're within long range of me.
Um, I- I'll go with you.
Who,
Let's see who we can pull in.
I had to count to make sure I had the right number. I had to triple check my count just to make sure. So Eloise, you said extreme or long range?
can I spend 10 shine to get extreme range?
Oh, it's the longest you can go.
Yeah.
Then
I hate it.
then long is what you got. Yeah.
Who wrote this? Stupid.
You ping out and you get 27 amidst animals and whatnot. You get 27 individuals. Most importantly, one of which is Henry Fawcett.
Pah. Bastard.
They're all
Henry
within long
Fawcett-
range.
Okay.
Is Henry Fawcett like to the back of this group? Is he further
He
away
is
than the rest
a
of
little
them?
bit further distance than everyone else, and also like depending on the amount of time passed, like as you break down the camp and get ready for a fight, basically like every once in a while, like some of that 27 turns like all the way down to like 22, 21, then comes back to 27. Like it seems like not everyone, and based on the distances you have, there's a lot of people who are on the outskirts. Within your immediate close vicinity, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 people within like pretty close vicinity.
Do they seem to
And
be
then like
moving
another
in a
11
pathway?
another 11 people like further out.
Further out.
Scattered. Yeah.
Scattered further out. Yeah. It seems like based on what Dex had told you before and what Eloise is now sensing, they have changed from a whole like break up and spread out thing to be a blob and move that blob around.
Yeah.
Wh-
Yeah, I'll head
Porter,
out.
what do you mean you're
Go.
going to go? Who are you going with?
I've got to go with Mr. Raven here. If I can split some of them off and not alert the rest of them, that was the plan. We wanted to see if we could split one party off, bring them in, and then make a ruckus so that we could bring the rest of them. I don't think he can do it by himself.
Based on this detect life I'm looking at being shared by Eloise, does that seem plausible now?
Which thing?
Like trying to like lure a small group in without alerting everybody?
Probably the smallest group you're gonna lure. Well, you could probably lure in 8 people. The chance of you kill, like basically you can lure in 8 people for an individual fight. The other 8 people are gonna be close by. And then the other 11 people are also gonna be relatively close by. But like if you were really, really quick, you could like full on kill 8 people and then lure the other 8 in and lure the rest of them in. Otherwise, if you're extremely lucky, you could like assassinate like one person, set off a flare, put on a radio, and hope that one person is enough to bring the whole thing in. That's like a much more precise thing than what you were talking about before. That's a PAX thing. That's a fucking shadow in the night, take a person out, disappear them, and thing.
Yeah.
Also, she could get more than just one, but like whatever.
It's like you
Six-
find someone taking a leak in like on a shrub somewhere, right?
She's got 6 levels on us, all right? Like Yeah, Porter, I don't love your odds out there.
I just want to be as helpful as I can be. If you don't think so, just tell me where I need to be.
Seems like maybe based on what you're saying their layout is, we draw in the bigger group that's nearby us.
Mhm.
We try to take one of them out. We got a radio. Shoot a flare. We got radios and flares. Shoot a flare, call for help, and let the fight work its way back while the rest show up.
Yeah, you could stay in the caves and shoot that big gun and let it ring out. Let him hear you.
That's Porter.
Yeah.
I don't think we're wiping out any
What?
one group of people in this moment. I think we may need to.
No, I think B and Leo can do what he just said.
You want me out there too, or
We'll bring him to the caves. That's where the real fight starts.
I think
Yeah.
putting you in an advantageous position inside to help us defend Gus.
yeah, sure, whatever we need.
I counted 5 entrances into the area where we're going to be fighting for a minute before we fall back.
Hmm.
So, having you cover even 2 of those, girly, that's the way to go, I think.
Yeah, all right. Andy,
All right. Let's move.
All right, Warden. Let's move out.
B and Leo head out into the caves.
You guys hear vehicles moving around in the distance, echoing through the tunnels. Dex and Leo step out in the caves. Gus and Porter and Eloise, you leave the Agarino Den to inhabit the caves by the mouth of the Agarino Den at least. As, based on Eloise's directions, Dex and Leo start heading towards the nearest cluster of soldiers. The sun has just risen. The day is hot and oppressive and steamy here in the Punched Peaks. As the 4 or 5 of you choose to make one big last stand against Blackstar. That's where we're going to end tonight's session.
We made it out with our arms.
I don't believe it.
They
I'm shocked.
did.
honestly.
They did. Choose the outcome. No, Tommy doesn't get an arm. Complete prediction. There it is. There's the payout. Enjoy your shit. I'll bring this prediction back for
Good
next
for you,
session.
Carnaxus.
Honestly, next week is the real arms pull.
Oh shucks. All those lost channel points.
33,000 channel points
That's
to
wild.
Carnaxus and 2 others.
Wow.
Wow.
All this time, Tommy's been sitting there, lying to you about the economy. But now I've found a way.
I'm taking a fucking arm next session. I'm going to change it. It's going to be a limb. I'm going to say limb. It might be a leg. I don't know. Someone
It's
has
gonna be how
taken a
many
class
limbs?
4 injury and it's going to be they lose a limb.
Looks like
Time, he
Archet
told
was
me,
one of the
Dan,
ones
you
too."
can't get your viewer grade, of which the pile has grown comically enormous to the people. Can't
What do you have to roll for an arm? I did just roll a d20. 15 is an arm, right?
15's an arm.
Yep.
15 does you an arm.
That would have been an arm.
All I needed to do was hit Gus.
Please.
Plus 1 grit to Dex. Just so I can get this out the door before the stream ends. Says Arget Lom.
Thank you. I appreciate this greatly.
All right, y'all. We are done for tonight as far as the actual play goes, but we have some questions that exist within the Discord at least. So let's jump to those. We will do Q&A here for a minute, and then we'll end the stream.
We've got a bunch of questions.
Yeah, we do.
We didn't actually get to do the stream last time.
Yeah. Argalam says, going back to the Fallout 4 question, to the other
Make a
staple
laser
of the Minutemen arsenal, there's the laser musket. It's a mod for laser weapons that would allow you to spend more time prepping an attack in order to potentially boost the damage by 2 or 3 times.
There is not currently.
Yeah, the best you could do is like, there is a talent in the Sure Hands that is double tap. So like you could use a laser weapon and then like double tap to like immediately hit again with that laser weapon, which is pretty big because usually that requires a double down.
Yeah, that would kill the person.
Yeah, because you could. Yeah, so what you do is you laser weapon, you double tap, and then you double down. And you just go bam, bam, bam.
3 laser shots through a person. Very hard to survive. No, there's no mod that lets you like take your gun, set it down, grab the turn handle crank on the side, and start just
Revving it up.
ammo into there.
I love that. I love the idea that there is a rev up mod, a firing mod that is rev up, and it's just like spend this
Cool.
focus action,
Yeah.
and then next time you're gonna do a real good job.
True strike.
Yeah, true strike. Yeah.
Spooling.
Also one that I thought of during the last session from Argitlam, how many cubes would it take to create a trap that does nothing but forces movement? For example, on a narrow cliff, this trap is pushed into a wall and designed to launch out with just enough force to push a man about a meter.
That sounds like an unorthodox general good to me.
It sure does, Dan Barron. Why don't you tell us about those?
So we had a lot of fun coming up with a list of unorthodox general items for the book. So general goods are things that like, it's like an umbrella or like rope or like a simple ladder. Something that you take a tech cube or a machinery cube or a first aid cube and you just turn it into the thing. You don't have to roll. That's how general goods work. Sometimes there are things that like we don't have rules for, and thus they don't have a crafting code or anything like that. But it just feels wrong to say, yeah, take a machinery cube and make this boxing glove that shoots out of a wall on a cliff and punches a guy. And so in that case, it's like a couple cubes. It feels like 2, maybe 3 machinery cubes to make this thing.
My guess, as like, because it's down to the discretion of the GM, and it's also down to the thing the person wants to achieve. So I think it would probably be either 2 machinery cubes or a machinery cube and a tech cube. But the reason I say the tech cube one is like, I would ask like, well, how do you want it to trigger? Do you want it to be a pressure plate or do you want it to be a motion sensor? Because like one is going to be more foolproof, right? A motion sensor is going to do a much better place of like, what if they just step over the pressure plate or something like that, right? If they want to do a motion sensor, that would be machinery cube, tech cube. And if they want to do a pressure plate, that'd be machinery cube. And that's enough. And at that point, most times when almost always when someone's making traps, it's one use only. The trap is done and expended. And that's why I consider them consumable goods, which is why whenever like you want to make like bear traps or porters making like just like, well, it was a little more, I think Kinsey actually did it a couple times. Like if you want to make like a trap, that's just like a trap. It falls into the rule of crafting consumables where you make 3, or if you're porter and have mass production, you get 4.
I believe the example of an unorthodox general good in the book, there's a few, but the one that I remember is a memory foam pillow.
Nice.
Because that can't just be 1 cube.
Can't be 1 cube.
You could just plant a jumpin' yucky totally horizontally on like a rock wall.
You would hope, and yet we've tried.
And then Argitlam says, now since we've seen dodgy melee weapon guy as a let's build, let's equip Edward Geraldine from Final Fantasy IV. Notable traits: Edge is a ninja that uses various swords, claws, and thrown weapons as his main form of combat, but also has access to various ninja magics, basically throwing weapons that will explode with various elemental damages. Oh man, wouldn't it be really cool if there was a thing like an insight power that let you like be Gambit? That'd be so cool, right?
That'd be super cool.
It'd be
pretty
wild if that showed up in a later book, sort of focused around combat.
That'd be nuts.
Be nuts.
That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy.
That'd be cool. Like, honestly.
Otherwise, to get elemental effects on your thrown weapons, you would have to craft the specific thrown weapons to do so.
The thing is that like what you're asking for here is very easy to accomplish in Manifest. Like you can make like throwing weapons that are electric strike, that are fire strike, that are toxic strike, that will inflict these elemental effects on people. You can just have the sword or like claws or knives. Like we intentionally don't ascribe the visual description to almost any of the gear in Manifest so that it can look like whatever you want it to. Like a medium melee weapon always has the same stats as every other medium melee weapon, but like that could easily be a baseball bat or a katana, or like I believe Seth one time had just a post hole taker.
It's true. That did happen.
That's
Or like Gus has a Hodag prod, right? Like that's a medium melee weapon.
sure does.
It can be done.
Yeah.
With relative ease, honestly.
Very easy.
All right, next up. Mizako asks, ooh, yeah, I remember reading this one. What about a chain fighter? The type that uses their powers to ensnare opponents and then conduct electricity through it.
This is a pretty easy one.
This is yeah, full on. Like, I've played a lot of video games, watched a decent amount of anime. There was no way I was gonna make an RPG where you couldn't just fucking like whip a dude and electrocute them. Yeah, so you have a melee weapon with the entanglement mod, and then also the tech mod that is electricity, and then voila, you've done it. That's it. You have room. You have room for other mods.
Insight powers.
What's up?
Could you also do that with insight powers? I just read
wouldn't it be great
specifically-
though if there was an insight power that would let you apply an elemental effect to your attack,
Like Gambit?
like Gambit?
It would be so cool.
Look,
It'd be so cool if that showed up in a later book, sort of focused
Right,
around
yeah.
combat.
Yeah,
Ooh, that
yeah.
would be interesting.
But unfortunately,
will-
it doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist. I will say it's basically Badlands Pete's lasso, except instead of delivering toxin, it delivers electricity.
Yeah.
That's just it.
And you
That's
want the brawn
exactly
tree
what-
for sure, because then you take wrestler, which means when you grapple someone, you also deal damage. That's what Badlands Pete whole thing was about. Like he would hit somebody, he would deal damage with that hit, and then he would also
He would
poison
them.
Poison them,
And the thing was
then
like
beat the
poison
hell
dealt
out of
extra
them.
damage, so it was like you're still alive, poison.
It also, I believe, applies just like an ongoing -1 while you are poisoned.
Mhm.
So you're grappled, you're poisoned, you've taken damage. It's a bad place to be.
It's one of my most optimized characters I think I've ever played in Manifest.
It's great. It was so optimized. We
And-
changed the rule of wrestler in the middle of that playthrough.
damn.
It was good.
And then we have
Squonk.
This one's from Seth. Hey
It's
guys, this one's from
me!
Seth.
I do that sometimes.
What you got there, Seth?
Yeah, so okay. I was just thinking about like med kits and Omni tools, about how this is like it's tech that you can turn into something else, right? Like the med kit is not like a kit. It's something that uses like what nanotechnology or like holographic shit, or you know, any various flavors that you could just turn into something else. And I was wondering if you could apply that to a weapon in Manifest. So I recently watched The Suicide Squad, because that's the sequel. And I was thinking about Bloodsport, how he can fucking take parts off of his armor and turn that into weapons. Is that something that you could do that would be like massively expensive for a manifest character?
Or what
It doesn't
about,
even cost
like,
money.
Dan is
You
correct.
can,
Tell me more.
yeah, you can just say that's how your weapons do.
Yeah. So basically, like if there was ever going to be something like that, it doesn't exist yet. Like something mechanically where it's like, this is how your weapon functions, blah, 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 blah. And if that was to exist, it would exist with some form of like additional benefit. Like, and then because you like turned your light firearm into a medium firearm, now it's even better. But, based on the way that Manifest's gear works, you could have light firearms and medium firearms and heavy firearms in your inventory. And then that could be flavored as like this is actually all one thing. And I keep slapping things on it to make it bigger. Because in Manifest, there's no, like, it's just a free action to like get your weapon ready. So like it would be a free action to be like, okay, last round I used a pistol, but now I want to fucking like, now I'm using my medium firearm.
I like,
right.
I don't know if this really helps because I don't know how many people actually saw the Gunslinger movie, the Idris Elba, Stephen King.
I still haven't
Tower?
watched it.
movie.
Dark
I
Tower.
really, I
Dark
can't-
Tower?
It is-
I'm shocked that I even.
It is
But it's like,
not bad.
did you know if you like bounce a bullet, it goes faster? Anyway,
Addie, that's the one part that's really bad.
No, you see, you don't
but-
understand. The pillar is a foreign alien material. It doesn't absorb the force.
Right. Anyway, it's in that movie, the Idris Elba character like reloads by like pulling his gun across his belt where there are other cylinders, so the like cylinders pop out, and so he totally reloads like without actually like
Yeah.
you know. And so like we just like reload with finesse, and so like you can say you do that however you want. You can like say you like you have a headband and you just like pop it into your gun and now it's reloaded because the headband has all the bullets attached to it. Like it's that sort of thing where like if you can imagine it and it's like reasonable to be that kind of action, it can totally happen. And so doing
Dope.
blood sports stuff is just like I pull out a gun. Actually, I add this thing. Now it's a medium weapon. Okay, actually, I add this thing. Now it's a fucking sword or whatever. Now it's a grappling hook. Like,
Yeah, as long as you spend the materials and spurs necessary to have those things in your inventory, they can take whatever shape and form and function that you want within those.
oh my gosh, that's
so-
also Idris Elba.
It's all Idris all the way down.
Wait,
Everyone's
did you bring up the Dark Tower without actually remembering that
Yes,
Idris
I
Elba
just
was
looked up,
Roland
it's
in the
on
Dark
my-
Tower?
I remembered that he was
I
Roland.
didn't
I
remember
for-
he was Bloodsport.
I was like,
You
I
didn't
for-
remember it
I
was
just-
Bloodsport. Okay, sure.
it was
yeah.
totally separate. It's just that
That's great.
reloading scene is like the thing that I always imagine when I'm writing manifest gear and stories and stuff.
I mean,
So like that sort of like
you take Alistair Caldwell, right? He only had one arm, and like he
Yeah.
had just full on cylinders on his belt because it was like, I gotta reload this thing fast, and I'm a gunslinger.
Yeah.
There's tech on this world that will help me do this. And so it was just like womp womp done.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a dumb side question for you. I know it's getting late, but could I put socially adaptable on a light firearm to have the Shadowrun gun that's breaks apart into pieces and looks like a necklace?
No, you want concealable.
No, I want socially adaptable.
No, that's concealable. Though. Roman, what you're describing is concealable. I wrote the section. That's concealable.
Sure, fine.
Yeah.
you went socially adaptable because it takes up less points.
It's
I
not a
just thought
mob
it
guns
was
can
fun.
have.
Yeah.
Now,
and socially adaptable
concealable-
can't go on a gun, right?
Concealable
No.
is socially adaptable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
For
guess.
gun.
I suppose so.
You could take the concealable mod on a firearm and say it's concealable because it is broken off into multiple parts of my outfit. And then mechanically it doesn't change anything. It just means you rip off your necklace and like your like cufflinks break out
Tie
and
in your glasses and you wrap them around and then
it's just like you're just fucking like
And a mad scanner cannot find it.
Exactly. And no one knows until you shoot them.
I
All
mean,
right.
probably before you shoot them, but like
Like
it's close.
right before. All right, cool. I don't see any questions in the chat. We're done with questions in the Discord, I believe. Am I correct? I think I'm correct.
Yeah, we got nothing else in the Discord.
Yes.
Cool. All right. Then we are done for tonight. Thank you all so much.
Actually-
Argalam says he asked long ago about your favorite illegal mods for various bits of gear.
Oh, I did miss that.
I mean, can you clarify? Do you mean mods that like in world are illegal for folks to have, or do you mean like mods that mechanically things aren't allowed to have that make
Like
for cool
socially
combinations?
adaptable on a gun.
Yeah.
So number one,
I would like a gun that's socially adaptable.
I don't. I guess there's not really anything that's like in world illegal, right?
I mean, proto martyr tech.
Sure, you're not allowed to have a proto murder gun.
I mean, it depends on the territory
True.
and the settlement. Like laws vary throughout all parts. of
Sure, but
Manifest.
there's nothing that's like, oh god, you can't have that anywhere.
Wait, no. Real long ago, we answered it in season 1.
Oh, okay.
Oh, this must be in reference to I want socially adaptable gun. I want grapple spikes on car.
I mean, yeah, those
It's a
kind, those
wreck.
kind of things are just straight up. That's just a GM making a legendary item that is like, hey, you know the rules that stop you from having 2 of the same type of mods or having all of these mods together. on
Double
one thing?
ergonomics.
It's
This
a
thing
plane,
has that.
and it kills other planes, not by
No,
ramming
stop
them,
it. No.
but by grappling them.
No, no.
Yeah. It's Argalam is saying this is like it cannot be placed on this item. So yeah, it's like, hey, you want an electric fire sword? That's a legendary item on Manifest. That is an item that has 2. It's a melee weapon that has 2 tech mods, which you cannot do within the rules, but the GM can fucking say, hey, that proto martyr figured it out.
I
think-
want
Actually,
I want
Dan, I
crude
think
on
you're
a
right.
plane.
I think Dan's got.
So my favorite one. There was a brief window of time where I had run like 8 or 9 sessions of Manifest, and I was the person on Earth that had run the second most sessions of Manifest, and that was fun. But like for those sessions, I had made some items that were like these legendary items, and I think the one that was actually the most fun was there is a mod called Sight Window that is for projectile weapons only that reduces the penalties for called shots by 1. So if you take that and there's a talent in Sure Hands that reduces that penalty again, you can make most called shots at no penalty. And I gave that to a guy with, I believe, a heavy firearm with enhanced sights. And he was just like up in the clock tower at the center of town, making called shots and like shooting through walls and clipping people as they were fighting through town. And it turned out to be like, I made a bunch of other wild stuff. That was the session that had.
Is that the session also that off the front of a bar and like
Yes.
moved it through town? Okay.
Yeah, they at one point cut off the front of the bar to make cover from this guy and like put wheels on it and started pushing it as they moved toward the center of town because this dude could just make these really devastating called shots at no penalty from extreme range. It was great.
I had very
Yeah,
good
great.
machinery, and I thought, hey, this bar is machinery.
A bar is machinery.
No, I thought you were going to point out the fact that Henry Fawcett's gun.
Oh yeah, Henry Fawcett's gun is illegal.
Yeah.
For a number of reasons,
Yeah.
but most relevant to this, it's a double-barreled laser.
Exactly. Laser and double barreled are both firing mods that you can't have 2 firing mods on a pistol or on a weapon, on a firearm.
You
and
can't?
Yeah.
Oh, Sultaner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
All these
god.
assholes, every asshole with a laser we've ever fought has had a double-barreled laser gun.
Who's making them? This is our mission now.
Look, it's just really fun as a GM to shoot someone with a laser once and then go, and then he shoots again. Because the moment you reveal that there's a
Double down like the
laser,
rest of us, coward.
no, I don't have to with double barrel. All right, cool. All right, we're done. We are done for the evening. It is getting late. We are gonna be back on Tuesday, September 14th, as we inevitably roll initiative again and see how these 4 drifters may or may not finally
We might
Fine.
fight next week. I
find
don't
their
know.
way out of the Punch Peaks. Who knows? Punch Peaks are crazy.
He's gonna attack us with an ocarino. I'm gonna see it coming though, so I'm gonna leave you guys.
Only if the Algerino
And
has
we're done.
Oh no.
All right. Thank you all for watching. Thank you guys for playing. I had a great time. I hope everyone else did. And we will see you next week on the 14th. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.